for yourself the comfort, balance, and support missing in your life. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now Vacaville, online at goodfeet.com.
Imagine it's the last ride, but your symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, are taking you for a ride. What should you do? Keep managing your constipation with belly pain the same old way? Or try getting ahead of your symptoms by talking to your doctor about treating it with Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. Your home for the biggest matchups in the NFL. Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Chris Rillotte with your Sactown Sports headlines. The NBA announced yesterday that Warriors forward Draymond Green has been suspended for Game 3 against the Sacramento Kings for stepping on Sabonis. The league said the suspension was based in part on Green's history of unsportsmanlike acts. Last night, the Sacramento Kings announced that center Sabonis suffered a sternum contusion in Monday's game and will be questionable for the game against the Warriors. Game 3 of the Kings and Warriors is tomorrow night, and Sactown Sports will have you covered. It will start with Kettles and Rami live from Doco at 2, followed by Game Night with Scott Marsh and the High Flyer Henry Turner at 5:30, and tip-off of the game is at 7 o'clock. You can listen to everything right here on Sactown Sports. Those are your headlines. Now let's get to Chris and company with Whitey and Watkins.
May not be easy to get through the show today. I don't know about you, Chris Watkins, or you, dear listener. I'm still having a hard time finding the words. I was rendered speechless last night. We got the word. I know Frankie tweeted it, and then Chris Rillotte shared it with you and I.
Yeah.
Draymond Green had been suspended, and look, I understand why he was suspended, and the images of that stomp, they get worse every time I see them. But as I said yesterday, and I was wrong, of course, I didn't think the NBA would have the guts to do it.
I didn't either. I thought that we would be sitting here today just talking about how, just like we were talking yesterday. Actually, I didn't even think we would be talking about this today, to be fair. I thought, if this just ends up being a fine and whatever, I think we kind of move on and stop talking about it. But here we are opening the show yet again, talking about Draymond Green. And I am right there with you, Whitey. We were talking all yesterday.
You were on the fence yesterday. In all fairness to you.
I was on the fence, but I definitely thought, just with the history and with everything that went into Draymond Green, I thought that was actually going to play in his favor. I thought it would be we know we don't want to take away from the series and we don't want to take from the narrative. And I mean, we'll see. I've already started to see people starting to kind of spin that narrative that maybe, this is the league out to get Golden State for all the fans. Success and all that nonsense. But it's pretty incredible that the league did eventually come to the conclusion that they felt the need to suspend Draymond Green.
If the Warriors lose this series, if the Kings go on and beat them, which right now looks more likely than it's looked at any point, if the Kings do that, there may be some, and there will be some, especially Warrior fans who will say, well, it wasn't legit because blah, blah, blah. But if you know the Warriors' history, you know that going back to their first championship in 2015, they had a number of things that fell into place for them. You go back to last year, they had a number of things that fell into place for them where they didn't have to play the Suns last year, for example. So that's all part of it. That just happened, and the Warriors benefited from that. We'll see if the Kings can. I don't know about you, Chris. In my opinion, if the Kings go into the game tomorrow with the notion that it's going to be easier on any level because Draymond's not there. And if they just, even a fraction, let up on the gas pedal and let up on the intensity just a little bit, if they relax a tiny bit because, hey, Draymond's not there and we're up in this series, I think they've already lost if they do that.
Yeah, and I'm hoping they don't. And, you know,
I don't think they will.
I don't think they will either, but there has been a history, and granted, this is postseason basketball. I think we clearly see that the Kings, especially specifically pointing at the defensive end, understand that this is a different level and this requires a different kind of focus and attention to detail. But you're completely right. If they for a second think, oh, yeah, okay, this is an easier game. Oh, maybe we can have a little bit more mistakes. Oh, maybe, you know, we don't have to pay as much attention to the things that Draymond was doing because now he's not going to be involved. Absolutely not. If anything, the Kings need to take this opportunity and view it the opposite way. Play it like Draymond's playing. Play it like Kevin Durant is still on the Warriors, as a matter of fact. They need to give this game 3 everything they have, and they need to smell that blood in the water. And they need to jump on this opportunity right now because with a wounded, you know, Mike Brown mentioned Golden State being a wounded animal. They're going to go back home and lick their wounds. Mm-hmm. The Kings need to pounce on this already wounded Golden State team, and now they take a huge blow with Draymond missing. I want to see Sacramento come out full throttle. They need to attack this game 3 like it's a closeout game because it kind of is spiritually. If the Kings can go up 3-0, Whitey, the writing's on the wall at that point. I mean, you can pick your game. I'm not saying take games off, but you have so many opportunities just to get that one win that you need. It's pretty much a wrap, and they need to take this game 3 as seriously as they've taken anything all season long.
One of the most surprising aspects of this series to this point, as I look at it, try to look at it objectively and think about what's going on rather than just, you know, the feelings, which are, I don't even know what day it is. You know, it's like,
I have no idea. I've tried to figure that out.
Really
like
Wednesday? Because the way this thing's been, we just are so wrapped up in it and the games that come so quickly. But this series to this point has been a coaching mismatch. Mm-hmm. You've got Mike Brown, who knows the Warriors so well, and he also has from his team buy-in, total buy-in, right? You see that.
Absolutely.
At both ends.
They signed an all-in thing.
Steve Kerr is an all-time great coach.
All-time.
No matter what happens.
Sure.
He could quit right now, say, I'm done. He'd be an all-time great Hall of Fame coach. But right now, they have no buy-in. His team isn't hearing him.
Yeah.
You know, they've been preaching, we foul too much. We turn the ball over too much. And what happens? It doesn't get any better at a time when they really needed to. And that happens in sports when a coach is there with a group for a long time. At one point, doesn't mean he's not a good coach, but they look undisciplined with, you know, that's a terrible look for a team that's a world champion to have one of your players get suspended because it's Draymond and it happens. Yeah, but it looks awful. They're throwing the ball all over the place. Right now, this series has been a total coaching mismatch in favor of the Kings.
I really haven't thought of it that way, but do you think that maybe it could be almost a disease of success where
it's all part of it?
They're viewing, like they feel like, coach is telling us lock in. He's always told us that, and we eventually like that switch eventually turns or gets flipped. And we just, you know, it's almost a hubris of, we understand, coach. We know we'll do it eventually. It'll just happen. And instead of actually making it happen, they just believe, or, you know, and I'm sure Steph and Clay understand that you have to put in the work, but maybe some others who weren't there for the first 3 titles don't understand that it's not just magic that the Warriors end up being, you know, having the run they did. You have to put in the work, and you really have to take the words into actions. It's not just about doing the post-game press conferences and saying, we're better than this. Oh, we need to lock in. Oh, we know we need to do this. Oh, when we go back home, it'll be a different story. You got to put that into action. You can't just speak it and have that, you know, lead your way to success. You have to be about it as well.
Ironically, Whitey, how you're describing the Warriors, I think is a lot of how other people thought the Kings are going to play in this game.
Yeah,
because they didn't have the success and they don't know what they're getting into. Right. Mm-hmm. It's like completely opposite.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy. You're absolutely right. You go back though, might have been 2016, 2017 or so. Steve Kerr, I remember he would talk about how, my message isn't getting through to these guys. He would talk about it publicly. And I think at one point he said, I'll let them pick the lineup because they're not listening to me. And clearly he was trying to get them to realize you have to listen to me at some point. And here we are, 2023. How many times you see Steve Kerr really get emotional with his team on the sidelines compared to any other coach.
No, not.
And he doesn't. Some of that's his style, but it's just it doesn't do any good. So there are a lot of signs, and this is a long ways from over, but there are a lot of signs that this Warrior run is, you know what, maybe coming to a close here. It's inevitable. And with Draymond at this point, before this game getting suspended, it really looks like this Warrior dynasty, they're on the edge, and we'll see if the Kings have just a little bit more enough to, well, it may take a lot more.
Yeah.
Push him off.
Just nice little 2
Yeah.
hands. It might be a foul, but 2 hands and just gently nudge
Hands
them
up,
off the ledge.
Yeah.
I
know that's over dramatic and everything, but I don't think it's an overstatement.
I don't think so, Whitey. No team has ever came back from 3-0. So if the Kings can take this opportunity, again, it's a wrap. Do you feel like it's even more detrimental that Draymond isn't playing in game 3? Because in my opinion, if anyone's going to be relaying any sort of message from the coaching staff or from anything, it's probably going to be Draymond, especially, really instilling it on the floor. I feel like
Coach on the floor.
I don't really, Steph, I haven't paid too much attention to the Warriors, leadership dynamic, but it feels to me like Steph is a little bit more of a lead by example kind of guy. Clay is probably more of a, Clay seems to talk a little bit, but is also more of a lead by example guy. And Draymond's kind of been that fiery force that seems to, for better or worse, and whether sometimes the guys want to hear it or not, it seems like Draymond's the guy who usually is the one who's getting them spirited, and he's clearly their emotional leader. I'm not sure, that to me might be the biggest detriment of Draymond not playing, is just, can the Warriors find that spark, find that on the floor energy that they could potentially need in this game? I don't know. Or will Chase Center be enough to, energize the Warriors?
And they're already so small, and he's not big, but he and Looney, obviously, overall, he's their most effective big defensively.
Yeah.
Their rebound rate without Draymond in the series, I think it goes from like 50% to 38.5.
Wow.
And he runs their offense at times. They're going to miss him desperately. They already were kind of short and shorthanded.
And struggling on the boards as well.
Yeah, and now they don't have Draymond Green.
Mm-hmm.
So, Steve Kerr has a big challenge in front of him. He has another chance to prove to us, like we don't already know it, that he's a great coach. But they're really up against it in this game.
Yeah, and that's a really interesting point about the rebounding, because that puts a lot of pressure on their guards have been great rebounders. Steph has had career high in rebounding. DiVincenzo is a fantastic rebounder, but it's going to be big on those two guys specifically, and Andrew Wiggins. They're going to have to crash the glass, and because Sacramento, we talked about it in the lead up to this series, possessions, offensive rebounds. That's the game for Sacramento. That's how they can potentially, if their shots aren't falling, that's how they can stay in the game, and that's how they have managed to pull out victories in the first 2 games. Without Draymond Green, they're going to be really, really hurting on that offensive and defensive glass. It's going to be a real problem for Golden State. It's Draymond, people like to joke, doesn't put up numbers. It's always the triple single is always the joke with Draymond, but he just does so much of everything that I just don't know if Golden State can overcome everything that he does for them. It's going to be really, really tough in a series where they're already down 0-2.
I think they missed him in those 7 minutes after he was tossed.
Yeah. There definitely felt like there was moments where, I think offensively, sometimes it might be better for them to not have both Draymond and Looney on the floor, but defensively, again, like Draymond might have lost a step, but he's still, especially IQ-wise, one of the best defenders we have in the NBA.
And even though he's not a scorer, keeps them organized offensively at times. Anyway,
absolutely.
That's on him.
It is.
And that's in some ways, it seems like almost a poetic way for this to end. If it does, long ways to go. And obviously the Kings can't start to think that, I think we got this, we're good. But if it does end here, how fitting is that it ends with Draymond? Yeah. The season started with Draymond punching a teammate. Now the season could end on the heels of Draymond getting ejected.
Yeah, that's
literally the heels of Draymond.
Yes,
hey,
yes,
love it.
One of the biggest games of the year for them. It's amazing.
It's just not a good look, especially for somebody who, how do you this could potentially play into his free agency decision? I don't know. I don't know how this affects. He has the option to opt in. Who knows how this is going to affect how teams view him? This is a really, again, especially as he gets older and older, I don't know how many teams will sign a long, big contract for a guy
That volatile.
Volatile, and in the biggest moments in his career always seems to have an incident like this. Especially if you're bringing Draymond to your team, you're ideally going to be contending for championships. He's not going to be going to the Detroit Pistons. He'll probably be going to a team that has championship aspirations. And he can't be doing this if he's going to be, even lesser impact on the floor.
To me, the Kings clearly baited him, Monk grabbing his ankle, and it worked. They knew what they were doing. They decided how they were going to counter Draymond, and it worked. They out-Draymonded Draymond. Coming up in 90 seconds, Clutch Player of the Year voters are not the only ones noticing what De'Aaron Fox is doing this year. Coming right back on Chris and Company, Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings have taken a commanding 2-0 lead over the Golden State Warriors.
They end up winning it by 8.
Can the best road team in the West go into Chase Center Thursday night and get a win in Game 3 over the defending champs? Our coverage begins with Cattles and Rami live from the Golden One Center at 2 p.m. with tip-off at 7 from San Francisco on your home for the Kings, Sactown Sports.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave telling you something you already know, which is your time is important. That's why at American Energy Heat and Air, they make shopping for a new furnace or air conditioner easier with their new online quoting tool. All you got to do is go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote now, today. Do it right now. It'll help you determine what system you'll need to get and provide the best pricing options, all from the comforts of your home. You don't have to have somebody come out and walk around your house and blah, blah, blah. Just do the quoting tool. It's so easy. AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. I absolutely love these folks. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Live and local, it's Chris and Company with Chris Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Can't believe it. I should have listened to Chris Watkins yesterday. It's Chris and Company, Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports. I said yesterday, the NBA is not going to suspend Draymond. Hear it from people on the YouTube chat like Matt Martin. Thank you, Matt. Says, Whitey, I've tried to tell you. I thought there's no way because they want this series to go longer. And Chris wasn't firmly, they will suspend him, but you were kind of, I don't know.
Look, Whitey, I might be new to this whole radio game, but it was a vet move by me. If you don't pick a side, you can't be wrong, okay? So if you want to take a couple notes and learn some things from me, if you don't ever make a decision on anything, you can't ever be wrong, and no one can ever chastise you for it. So,
gee, I thought both sides had great points.
Yeah,
just okay.
You can't make decisions, so it's a common trait for me. Sorry, ask my girlfriend. I can't make a decision on anything.
Well played by you. Yeah. So why did the NBA decide that Draymond had to be suspended? Woj this morning on Get Up.
One thing the league office does want to hear in a case like this, a situation like this, is a recognition that the act was wrong, that there was some remorse there. I don't know whether Draymond Green expressed that or not with the league office, but it would be important that you do that. When they are deciding on whether, again, it's perhaps just a fine and you play Game 3 versus suspension. But you look at on the court right there with Draymond Green before he left the floor, that was absolutely a part of this decision, I'm told.
I know Katie today on with J. Ross, the J. Ross show with Dave Weglin. She said she thought Draymond kind of touched his own stanchion, and I didn't see that. Maybe he did. I hadn't heard that, but I could see we talked yesterday about Commissioner Silver being there. If he saw that, I could see why Draymond's not going to be suiting up for Game 3.
I've never heard it referred to as a stanchion. That's incredible.
You got a better basketball term?
No, that's great.
Okay,
I can definitely get what you're saying. I thought that's interesting.
He went to his own low post. I don't know.
There you go. Yeah. That's another good one. Jeez, why do you full of them? I think that it's interesting to me that the aftermath had an impact on the decision. I think it's also interesting that they say his lack of remorse really was a huge factor as well, because it's not something I really considered. I mean, do you think that should matter that he didn't apologize? I mean, that seems kind of not childish, but it's like,
I don't know.
Does
from the
an
league
apology
yeah,
help?
it's not so much an
From
apology,
optics?
just, well, we need you to know you did
wrong.
wrong.
Some
Because if
form
you
of it.
don't, then we have to do something to show you did wrong. Again,
Right.
I said yesterday, I don't think they really care, but I think it's gotten so embarrassing for the league that they felt the need to do something. I also wonder if the league was not thrilled that, it had to be the Warriors who came out with the information we got yesterday.
Yeah.
that, Draymond's unlikely to be suspended.
Also,
the league didn't appreciate that.
Shams Charania is a clutch client as well as is Draymond Green. So that thought crossed my mind. That's interesting. That from reports do say that the Warriors were very shocked and not happy with the decision that Draymond was suspended, which makes sense, especially after seeing the reporting from yesterday. But it's really strange to me that I can't get over the optics of it all. I don't quite understand why the wouldn't, like you said, like acknowledge the fact that what he did was wrong and why that would affect the decision to suspend him. I think I hear you saying they need to hear that he acknowledges what he did was wrong. I just don't see. To me, the bigger thing should just be. I'm totally
From the
fine
league standpoint,
from the
you're
league
talking
standpoint.
about?
I understand the multiple offense thing. That totally makes sense to me. He's been somebody who's done this multiple times. Is it really just that simple that he's done it multiple times and he's never really apologized for or had shown remorse for it? And so now this is their way of saying, hey, you didn't show remorse that entire time. Now we're going to punish you. That's where I can maybe see the Warrior side argument where it's like, okay, well, just because you're punishing him now because you didn't fully punish him in the past, I guess. And he's been punished in the past for some of his transgressions, but it just doesn't quite make sense to me.
Kind of reminds me of way back when Meta World Peace, Ron Artest, if he did something, and I remember, was it Stu Jackson, who was the VP of discipline at the time, and he talked about recidivism and how, if a guy's done these things in the past, we're going to be harder on him in the future. And that goes back, 20 years, whatever. So the NBA's always kind of adopted that philosophy. I just thought, again, here, not to be redundant, but I thought that they were going to look at this and go, boy, the ratings are pretty good for this series.
That's what I thought.
It's the Warriors, and, he did miss part of the game. So I applaud them for taking a stand.
I thought there was just too many outlying circumstances. Like you're saying, the fact he already missed time. It's the Warriors. You don't want to ruin the series. And I really do think that the league, here I am, I feel like I sound like I'm defending Draymond Green, but I think that they should have factored in the fact that Sabonis pulled his leg. It's not like it was completely unwarranted or, it's not like it was unprovoked. He was provoked a little. And, I know some Kings fans out there don't fully believe that what Sabonis did was intentional, but, I definitely think that was part of the mind games that they were trying to play with Draymond. And, like you said, the Kings won that battle. They out Draymonded Draymond. They got inside his head and made him be the one who overreacted and who did something brash. But it's interesting to me that the league factored in all of those things and still came to the conclusion that, he deserves even more time suspended.
It's just one more thing for the Warriors to figure out. They're still trying to figure out how to stop De'Aaron Fox, who yesterday was named the first ever recipient of the brand new Jerry West Clutch Player of the Year. That's great, but we kind of saw that one coming.
A little bit. Yeah, we've known that one for pretty much all season long. He's ran pretty uncontested.
My wife was asking me, so that's all numbers, right? I mean, you know who the clutch player is, or do they vote on it? And I said,
I think this year the league kind of lucked out this year that there was a very clear front runner. But if you take let's just take De'Aaron Fox out of the equation. I can't tell you a single thing that would have stood out from a clutch perspective from really anybody this season.
Mm-hmm.
And so and that was the question from the jump was, how are you guys going to define this criteria for clutch? And I guess it's been, the league's definition of clutch minutes being a 5-point game with under 5 minutes to go. But,
right.
I don't know. Like, is it, if you don't have good clutch numbers, but you hit 4 game winners, does that get you the clutch award? What if you shoot 20% in the clutch, but you have the most points because you just take a ton of shots? Like, I don't know. It's interesting, but De'Aaron Fox, head and shoulders, by the stats, by the eye test, clutch player of the year, hands down, should have been unanimous.
He got 91 of 94 votes, though, so it was not unanimous. He beat out DeMar DeRozan and Jimmy Butler.
I think DeMar's daughter should have gotten some votes there.
So somebody else got a vote too, right? If it was 91 and 94.
I believe. No, yeah. I think it might have been like two. I think
votes.
Two people voted for Jimmy and then one voted for DeMar.
Fox, the NBA leader in clutch points. We know that. This was interesting. Thank you, Chris Watkins, for this number.
Oh, yeah.
547 points in the fourth quarter this season. Woo. So Fox broke Mitch Richmond's Sacramento era record of 510 points in the fourth quarter. Just, that award now is something that a lot of us like, well, it's new. But as soon as you get labeled, boom, you're a clutch player. That's a good thing.
It is a very good thing. And that's something that'll carry with you your entire career. There's, that's not really something that, people are going to go back next season and look like, oh, well, maybe 3 years from now, De'Aaron Fox isn't nearly as clutch as he was 3 years. That title is going to stick with you the rest of your career. And it's so cool. I think the coolest part of it is that De'Aaron, we don't know who the first ever MVP was or the first ever rookie of the year was or anything like that. But I think it's really, really cool that the Sacramento Kings, De'Aaron Fox, gets the first ever clutch player of the year award. That's just a really cool fact for Sacramento that we'll have forever for a trivia answer.
And another one of those things they got to put on this year's banner.
Exactly.
And when they hang it.
And then tonight, there's another chance that they add another thing to that banner. Mm-hmm. Mike Brown could be named Coach of the Year tonight.
Meanwhile, no Draymond Green means what for the Warrior lineup? We're going to find out. The Athletics' Anthony Slater joins us next on Chris and Company, Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Catch the Oakland A's every weekend on Sactown Sports. Friday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Sinking, that's going to get down for a hit. Around third to score is Tony Kemp. And the A's have taken the lead. Edge of the track, makes the catch. And the Athletics get a great win.
Sactown Sports, your weekend home for the Oakland A's.
Sactown Sports coverage of the Oakland A's is brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
Psst. Hey, Mark, remember, getting help from Progressive is so easy. You can use the mobile app, chat with us online, or call us.
And you pick now to tell me.
I couldn't miss Little Grace's ballet recital. Oh, thanks for inviting me, by the way.
Did I?
Because I'm always here for you.
Yeah. I can use the mobile app if I need help. Sorry, you're in my wife's seat, though?
Oh, yeah, I gotta go anyway. Tell Grace she nailed her chassé.
Get the help you need from Progressive with our mobile app, online chat, or over the phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Everyone knows that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Kenny and Jerry here from Bell Brothers, and that's especially true when it comes to your air conditioning system.
A precision tune-up and professional cleaning costs a little bit upfront, just $87, but will prevent much bigger, more expensive, and inconvenient problems later.
We actually replace systems all the time from people who don't get annual tune-ups. They either forget or they just don't realize it's important. So instead of their systems lasting 12 or more years like they should, they need to be replaced in just 6 or 7 years.
Don't risk it. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Call Bell Brothers for an $87 air conditioner precision tune-up today and keep your system clean, energy efficient, and in good working shape.
Our number is 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com. That's 916-444-1234 or online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
No surprise guys, Bell Brothers.
Hey, Scott, I haven't seen you in over a year, and you look great.
Good to see you, too. Yeah, I'm feeling good and have a new job.
No, there's something different about the way you look.
To be honest, a few months ago, I had an amazing robotic hair transplant procedure with Dr. Singh at XL Medicine. It's called the artist procedure.
No way. Your hair looks completely natural, and you don't even have a scar. How did they do that?
Dude, the artist system is amazing. I have this fantastic hairline, and I'm happy with my results. He could probably help you, too, buddy.
Using the artist procedure, Dr. Singh can target and harvest healthy hair follicles with micron-level accuracy from the back of your head and transplant them where you need it. The procedure is painless, and you'll be back doing your regular activities in a couple of days. Ask Dr. Singh at Excel Medicine about the ARTIS procedure. Call today, 916-932-4470. That's 932-4470 for a complimentary in-person or Zoom consultation, or on the web at excelmedicine.com. That's EXCEL medicine.com. See what the ARTIS procedure can do for you.
These are actors and not real patients. Selling your home can be stressful. Scott Marsh here to tell you about Bridgehaven Homes. They are a local home buying company that offers homeowners an easier way to sell their home. Let Shane and his team at bridgehavenhomes.com take all that stress away. Bridgehaven Homes gives you an all-cash offer for your home, no matter what the condition, within 24 hours. You pick the date you wish to close and sell on your terms. No repairs, no showings, no realtor commissions. Go to bridgehavenhomes.com. That's bridgehavenhomes.com.
And now a special motorcycle weather report from Progressive. Well, today you can expect lots of cloud cover with 0% chance of raining on your parade because you'll be riding your motorcycle vroom vroom. That rumbling low-pressure system beneath you should give way to a relaxing commute and the sudden urge to take the scenic route everywhere you go because, dagnabbit, you're having fun out there. That's your forecast. Back to you. This has been a special motorcycle weather report from Progressive, where every day's a beautiful day to ride with coverage from America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Get a quote today and see what you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
The wait is over. Maida Subaru has a great selection of new Subarus in stock, more arriving daily, and big savings on all of them. And you can see all the savings at MaidaSubaru.com. So what are you waiting for?
Hey, Sacramento, while you're watching the playoffs, don't get stuck on the bench in a warm house. Fox Family Heating and Air can get you cooling fast with most parts backed by a lifetime warranty.
Fox Family Heating and Air.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Chris Verlotta with your Sactown Sports headlines. The NBA announced yesterday that Warriors forward Draymond Green has been suspended for Game 3 against the Sacramento Kings for stepping on Domantas Sabonis. The league said the suspension was based in part on Green's history of unsportsmanlike acts. Last night, the Sacramento Kings announced that center Domantas Sabonis suffered a sternum contusion in Monday's game and will be questionable for Game 3 against the Warriors. Game 3 of the Kings and Warriors is tomorrow night, and Sactown Sports will have you covered. We'll start with Cattles and Rami live from Doko at 2. That will be followed by Game Night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner at 5:30, and tip-off for the game at 7. You can listen to it all right here on Sactown Sports. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to Chris and company with Whitey and Watkins and our guest, Anthony Slater.
Sacramento fans waiting years and years and years for this. So the hype, of course, the anticipation, almost palpable. And we're 2 games in, and the first 2 games have easily exceeded expectations, right?
Oh, yeah, by far. I
Yeah.
mean, this has been the best series of any of the round 1 series, and it's been incredible.
Yeah. Now, no Draymond. So where does the series go from here? Let's find out. All guests come to you on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Nice enough to join us. He covers the Warriors and the NBA at large for The Athletic, Anthony Slater. First of all, Anthony, thank you so much for your time. I know this is a very busy period. I'd like to break you off a 2-piece. Were you surprised by the decision, and who starts now for the Warriors?
Yes, I was surprised. The Warriors were very surprised. They seemed to sense that, or at least thought that the ejection for 6 pretty important minutes of Game 2 was enough of a punishment, especially with the fact that the NBA acknowledged Sabonis at least did something to instigate it. They gave him a technical for the leg grab. But as they put in there, and it was a decision that, they had meetings yesterday with Sabonis, with Green. It was a decision that was partly based on Draymond's past. So the Warriors have to live with that. They will be playing without him. Who will start for him? A lot of options. It's what the coaching staff is figuring out today. Among those options, you could go young with Jonathan Kuminga, maybe get him a bigger role, which could activate him. You could go Jordan Poole if you wanted to really juice up the offense, try to get Poole going. You could go DiVincenzo, who has been a spot starter or you could even go with Moses Moody, who randomly showed up in the rotation, in game 2.
Yeah. Slater, I heard you ask Steph about
Hey, wait, Slater. I mean, I think he deserves a little more respect than that, right?
Mr. Anthony Slater.
There you go.
Mr. Anthony Slater, I heard you ask Steph after game 1 about his substitution patterns and how they would address that throughout the series. What do you think Golden State can do better in the non-Steph minutes? Because, he can't play 48 minutes in these games.
Well, Jordan Poole is going to be paid $120 million over the next 4 seasons. He's still on his cheap rookie deal now, but there's a reason they committed to him in the offseason.
Right.
He's part of what Steve Kerr has called their foundational 6. And, he was the 6th man of the year candidate. He was awesome in the playoffs last season. If you go back to the first round last year against Denver, he's scoring 30, 31, 32, like big point totals and big wins. I can remember game 1 in Memphis of the second round. Draymond Green gets ejected for a foul on Brandon Clark. Jordan Poole starts the second half in Draymond's place, and Jordan Poole is great, and they win that game in Memphis. Jordan Poole is partly paid to help them survive those non-Steph minutes. If Alex Lynn is on the floor and Jordan Poole is on the floor, they should be getting Alex Lynn in space, and Jordan Poole should be scoring a lot.
Yep.
So, to me, that's the answer. Jordan Poole has to play better. Now, he sprained his ankle pretty badly in game 1. There was some thought he might not even play in game 2. He pushed through it. Didn't look that good. So that is a factor, but they just need more from him.
Anthony Slater with us here on Chris and Company, Sactown Sports. To what extent now, with Draymond out, can the Warriors use what happened to Draymond or what the league did to Draymond as some kind of rallying point?
They shouldn't need that. They're down 2-0. They're not only is their season on the line, but really this era in a lot of ways is on the line. And they need game 3. And Draymond getting suspended. Sure, I think they don't like the decision, but they've been here before with Draymond, and there's got to be some level of blame for Draymond for even giving the league this opportunity. So I don't know that itself will rile them up, but they better get riled up. And they've been very good at home. Their role players tend to play better at home, which is, that's common, right, in the league. So, and maybe the extra opportunity for guys like maybe Jonathan Kuminga can get them going.
You mentioned Alex Len there in your previous answer. And in the past, Golden State's kind of been known for playing bigs completely off the floor. Why in your opinion, has Alex Len been able to play in this series and really have a pretty decent role for Sacramento?
Well, number one, Mike Brown has smartly only put him on the floor when Steph Curry's off the floor, right? You will very rarely see Len on the floor when Steph isn't. And that's often their key for running centers off the floor is you can't play them against the Steph Curry action. So, and then other than that, again, I don't think Poole's been that effective. I think the only time they've had success against Len in the series has actually been Kuminga. He's kind of had trouble staying in front of Kuminga. But on the other end, Len, he's pick and roll diving to in. He's gotten some dunks. He blocked Draymond at the rim. He's been really physical, forceful, on the glass. And he actually played pretty well. He deserves some credit in that sense. Now, I do think the Warriors, and I would guess over the last couple of days, they're going to discuss ways to target him more, get him out in space, see him kind of, having to guard, out on the perimeter, leaving the back end of the defense a little bit more wide open. The Warriors, truthfully, just need to attack the rim more regularly. The Kings are not a good shot blocking team. They had the second fewest blocks in the league this season, but the problem is the Warriors get a little three happy. And it's something Steve Kerr has mentioned plenty, particularly from game 1, but they just got to, go to the paint because against the Kings, the paint's typically pretty open.
Anthony Slater with us here on Chris and Company. You have been covering the Warriors for years. You've written a lot about the Kings this year. Why do you think the Kings have gotten so much more traction defensively in this series than they were able to get at any time during the regular season?
They're extremely locked in right now. Mike has been playing very physical, and the playoffs are a more conducive environment to physicality. I think Davion Mitchell's ability to hit a few jumpers in game 2 and stay on the floor as long as he did, which, he's a good defender. So if he can stay on the floor and guard Steph Curry, that's their best option. It's kind of like a primary Curry defender. I think Malik Monk has surprised me with his ability to kind of pick up full court, and he's not some elite defender, but he's trying out there. He's long. He's super athletic. They're getting a lot of deflections. I think Harrison Barnes has played well. De'Aaron Fox has, he's not a guy he's not a stopper, but how many quick hand steals does he have coming from behind, tipping away a pass, something like that. So I think collectively they're just really locked in. I think Mike Brown's knowledge of the Warriors, not even just his Leandro Barbosas and Luke Glass, they know the Warriors much better than most coaching staffs do. So I just think they've scouted well and clearly the team has absorbed those lessons well.
Yeah. Golden State hasn't really shot well at all so far to start Golden State side that just returning to Chase will help the Warriors shots fall.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the Warriors. Like their confidence always remains. I mean, go ask Klay Thompson if he's worried about, missing some shots. So, I mean, if Klay has a belief, and I think a lot of people do that, like a Klay game looms somewhere in the series, maybe a couple of them, right, where he just gets super hot and, goes on a 18-2 run by himself, essentially. I do think Poole will play better. He, at least this season has, I don't know, like Chase Center seems to activate him a bit more. So I think they're confident, but again, they just lost their best defensive player and they are going against the best offense in basketball this season. So it's a challenge, and the Kings are coming in with confidence, and I think the first quarter is going to tell us a lot.
Anthony, we appreciate your time. I'll let you go with this one. Were you surprised there weren't more Warrior fans at the Golden One, and do you have any idea how many Kings fans the Warriors are expecting to show up at Chase?
I was surprised that there were, it's just a week earlier. I know it was the regular season, but there was a lot of Warriors fans near that regular season finale in Golden One. And I think Warriors people had been given an indication they thought it might be like 70-30 in Golden One, and it was not. It was not 70-30. It was 93-7, something like that. And I do expect to see some purple in Chase, just like there was some Celtic green during the finals in Chase Center, but. I assume it'll be similar, like, 90-10, something like that, maybe even less. But, hey, I was surprised once in this series. Maybe I'll be surprised again. And then, purple will reign and Chase, and they'll be singing Light the Beam. And, the series has already gone away. I didn't think it was going to go. So, who knows?
Yeah. Anthony, thank you. We appreciate it. Talk to you soon.
Appreciate it.
All right, fellas.
Yeah. He's kind of busy right now.
Yeah. Mr. Anthony Slater.
I'm sorry.
The best in town.
I'm sorry. You can call him whatever you want. I'm
I'll
sure
call him
he's
Slates
fine.
next time.
Slates.
Yeah. What up?
There you go.
S-Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get creative with
and he spoke for all of us, right? At the end there. This series has already gone a number of ways where I didn't think it was going to go.
Right. I would personally be surprised if there's not 20%. I'm expecting a lot of purple to reign into Chase Center, as Anthony put it there. I really expect a lot of Golden One Center to travel over to Chase.
I thought I heard on Channel 3 there's something about buses going down from Sacramento.
That would not surprise me. Yeah, I'm sure.
And if the team is already saying you can't bring cowbells in.
Right.
I think
that's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I know too that yesterday while we were on the show, they released tickets for the watch party at Golden One Center, and that sold out.
Last long, did
I think they sold out by the time we even finished the break. So.
Now available tickets for the watch. Never
mind. Okay, actually, none are available.
Congratulations!
And, watch at home, have fun. But I just expect never. Again, I said it yesterday. Never be surprised by what Sacramento Kings fans will do, and I anticipate a lot of purple in there.
Do you guys know, Chris and Chris, obviously you can't take a cowbell in there, but I was looking on my phone. There are, you can find cowbell
like
sounds.
Third-party apps.
Yeah. And they're not going to confiscate your smartphones.
Right.
Is that an option? If you have a bunch of people together that are Kings in one area.
Yeah.
And you pointed out, the Kings
on
site,
the Kings
they have
app,
a cowbell?
Yeah, on the Kings app, there's a cowbell.
And you kind of turn your phone
you have
into
to
a cowbell.
literally shake your phone in order for it to ring. So there's that option.
You have to turn it way up, and obviously it's not going to resonate as much as an actual cowbell. But if you get a lot of people in one area.
Exactly. The concentrated sound will probably travel. Or I'm sure there's like YouTube. There's always like cowbell sounds for 10 hours. I'm sure you can find one of those things or something and just play it the whole game.
What are they going to do? Take everyone's phones? I don't think so.
Maybe can you bring a portable speaker into an arena? Maybe
I
doubt it. You can make any noise making, but yeah, or just cup it. Sometimes when you're really down bad and you just have to like cup the bottom of your speaker with your hand, maybe just do that.
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to take away your phone.
Yeah, they're not going to take your phone. There's ways. Or I think I saw on Reddit, people can just moo. Since they're taking cowbells, just moo.
Boy, I don't know, Chris.
They're not booing, they're mooing.
It's a far cry from a cowbell. We'll put it on the list, and we'll see how it works in our trials.
We still have a day.
Guess which coach, meanwhile, is now number 2 all-time in Sacramento Kings playoff wins? Yeah, I think you can guess who. If you need a little time to work on that, we'll have the answer for you next. Chris and Company, Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Are you ready to hear this on Sactown Sports?
Hand off McCaffrey. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Or how about this?
Feel super, baby! The 5-time Super Bowl champions, and they're looking for number 6.
Catch every Niners game during the 2023 season
On your home for the 49ers.
Sactown Sports.
I'm Scott Trout, attorney and CEO of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. We help men deal with the life changes triggered by divorce, such as child custody and property division, among many others. But life changes also occur after divorce. These changes can make parts of your existing court order irrelevant or harder to follow. If you feel a modification to your court orders might be necessary, talk to us at Cordell & Cordell. We're a partner men can count on.
500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814. Cordell.
There's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. And at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, we are proud to provide our best selection to get you there. Buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Number 1 claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own report.
Growing a business brings pressure. It's not easy to maintain momentum and still keep employees engaged. Fortunately, there's Insperity. Their scalable HR solutions help me with hiring, training, HR administration, and compliance while giving my employees competitive benefit options. When my people are able to thrive, my business can adapt and prosper. With Insperity, nothing seems impossible. Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
It's been estimated that we lose more than 400 million golf balls globally every year. Hitting it in the fairway is a great way to prevent lost balls, but Golf Magazine's Josh Sen says, we can do better, people. First, play the right tees. The architect designed the placement of hazards for different handicaps. Second, find a reference point. Pick a tree, a shack, or a path where the shot was headed, and keep it locked as you head off the tee. Third, maybe use a highly visible ball. You've got a better crack at tracking your ball if it's the color of a lemon or a tangerine. And anecdotal evidence suggests there's something freeing about knocking around a cartoonishly colored golf ball. 4, do not look away in disgust. A natural reaction to a slice or duck hook is to turn away. As hard as it is to find an errant shot, it's even tougher if you don't know where to look. And finally, be a good scout. Instead of fiddling with your phone, keep an eye on your partner shots. The more time you spend watching, the less time you spend looking. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Skeeter here. Field Tech, Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District. Hey, it's my favorite week of the year. Mosquito Awareness Week. Yep, the spring and warm weather means the little suckers are starting to breed and bite. Gotcha. So it's time to fight the bite. Once a week, drain standing water from flower pots, bird baths, dog dishes. And at dawn and dusk, start using insect repellent outside and wear long clothes, because these skeeters are out for blood.
The Sacramento Yolo Mosquito and Vector Control District reminds you it's time to fight the bite. For more information, go to fightthebite.net.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram in Woodland. What's going on for Ram Truck Month, Chad?
Big savings and even better financing. Save up to $11,500 off MSRP on new 2023 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4s. Plus, financing as low as 1.9%. That's thousands more in savings on the truck you've always wanted. And we have over 400 new Ram trucks available, so you're sure to find your perfect truck.
Well, what if we're looking to save a few bucks at the pump?
We've got you covered there, too, with up to $14,000 in net savings when you lease a 2023 Jeep Wrangler Sahara 4xe for only $459 a month for 36 months and only $19.95 due at signing. This is easily one of the best plug-in hybrids you can get.
And that is why Hoblet has so many great customer reviews. They make you feel like family. Stop by for a test drive today or search, select, and save through their whole inventory at hobletdodge.com. Best prices, best selection, period.
$11,500 total net savings after $5,500 factory rebates and $6,000 dealer discount. Rebates include $2,000 Chrysler Capital bonus cash. Must finance through Chrysler Capital qualify. $500 on the job uplift for business owners. Special 1.9% financing available for 36 months on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. $14,000 total net savings for lessee only. Includes $3,000 my card lease bonus cash. $7,500 hybrid electric Fed tax credit rebate plus $3,500 Hoblet discount. 10,000 miles per year, 25 cents per mile in excess. 5 each net savings. See dealer for details.
Ace fans need Friday night plans? Well, we got you covered. Get 4 tickets and parking for any Friday night game starting at just $49 with the Friday 4-pack presented by Chevrolet. Save big and enjoy great matchups, post-game fireworks and drone shows, giveaways, and more this 2023 season.
But he drills one to right, way back, and no doubt, and that quickly the A's have taken the lead. Second deck.
Friday night tickets are available at athletics.com/value. That's athletics.com/value.
Sitting at your desk, watch Chris's company now. YouTube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Can I just share something weird that happened this morning? May I? This is, of course, Chris and company, Whiting Watkins. Thanks to Anthony Slater for joining us. Coach St. Jean joins us top of the hour. Remember, Coach St. Jean's one last week. He said, keep an eye on Monk and Poole. Key matchup, okay, fellas?
Said matchups.
Yes.
Matchups.
Yes, so we'll talk to him more about the series and what the absence of Draymond means for those matchups when he joins us top of the hour. But this morning, getting ready to come into the area where the studios are here, and they still don't trust me. They need Sharp or, well, you're going to go over there. You got to have somebody accompany you, Whitey. Yeah, we're great having you here, but we're keeping an eye on you. So I had to wait for Chris to come to let me into the area where the studios are. And I'm just there. It's upstairs, and I'm looking down at this stairway, and it's gray. There are gray stairs, and I don't know why. There's just something about it. I was looking at it, and I was like, this is weird. I felt like I was in an MC Escher painting or something. I'm just looking at him, and he goes, and Chris comes by. What are you doing? I said, I don't know. I'm staring at the stairs. He goes, oh yeah, they're haunted.
Yeah, you were looking at him like how a dog will sometimes just like stare at a wall or something, or like look at something, and you're like, what is the dog do? Like, you know how people say that animals can see ghosts? You definitely had like that glaze, just like looking off.
That's how
I was like, Whitey, there's nothing there. Like, what are you looking at? And you're like, I don't know, I'm just looking at the stairs. I'm in a trance. And I was like, this guy doesn't know that he's just and I've been at this station for a long time. And for as long as I have been here, I've heard tales of how that specific staircase is haunted. I swear, I'm not making this. Chris, have you ever heard it? Have you?
I'm not buying it because people keep saying that.
But you've heard it.
I have heard it, but as someone that used to be in this building alone at night,
right?
Many a times, I have yet to see anything.
All right. All I know is I was looking at it, and there was something like, I don't even know why I'm looking at this.
Some people are more sensitive to the spiritual world, and I think maybe Whitey, you might have some deep-rooted connection to some ghosts that are lurking around this building. I feel terrible for any ghosts who got stuck in this building. That's pretty unfortunate for them, but
they call it, Chris, the Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense. That's what I hear, right? That's I haven't seen that film, but that's I See Dead People, right? Isn't that where that
That's
term
exactly
came from?
right. Yeah, okay. I won't spoil it for you. You know how it ends,
I think there's dead people. If I had to guess, I have no. I don't even know what that movie's about, to be honest. I always just I literally only know that line from the movie, and so I assume the entire movie is just based around that one.
You'll
line.
find out as you get to know Chris.
Haven't seen any.
That he has not seen any movies.
Okay.
Is that also like one of those quotes? I see dead people. That's like one of like the wrongly quote. That feels like something that like we actually get wrong as a quote. But
no,
like
I think
Luke,
that's pretty accurate.
Like it's not Luke, I am your father. It's I think it's just like I am your father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen it.
I am your father.
Yes. No, that's what it is. No, I am your father. Yeah. I don't know.
Luke, this is Bill Walton. I am your father.
That would be I would watch that. See if they did a redub in the future with Luke Walton, Bill Walton as Darth Vader. Sign me up.
No, I'll see anything with Bill Walton in it.
I will too. 100%.
There you go. Well, okay. I don't know. I'll just try to avoid getting
just stay away from that staircase.
Sucked into the vortex of that stairway.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa,
you were in a
going
trance.
on here. I don't know what's going on.
You were really in
but
a trance.
Wow.
Like there's nothing to look at down that stair because like you can see like it's an open staircase, so you can kind of see, like people walking and stuff. So I was like, maybe you see Jason down there or something. And you're like, no, I'm just literally staring at these gray stairs. Yeah. And I'm the weird one. Sorry. Yeah, no.
One thing I don't see is anybody other than Mike Brown being named Coach of the Year tonight.
Hey, now.
You like that?
I love that. That was a great transition. It's tonight's the night. It's much like De'Aaron Fox's like you said about De'Aaron winning the clutch. This is something we've known for months now. I mean, this award has been Mike Brown's pretty much I mean, there was some early contention from Will Hardy with how, Utah got started. I think Boston fans have really soured on Joe Mazzulla towards the end of that season. So it's kind of been Mike Brown's race. It's a narrative award. It's also, he took a team that is 16 years or 16 seasons without a playoff team. First year comes in and completely turns it around. I think there's not a more impressive coaching job done this season than what Mike Brown has done with this team to turn it around. It's a huge turnaround, and I don't think anybody expected Sacramento to even be anywhere near where they were this year.
Sometimes in sports, it is a little bit difficult to suss out coach of the year, manager of the year. Well, how much did he really do?
Yeah,
it's like
totally.
They got a really good team, so how much did he do? You got to give him credit. He was the coach or the manager, and they won. But with this team, I think it's pretty clear.
Yeah. And I'm wondering too, this is maybe I'm still kind of workshopping this take. Do you feel like maybe Mike Brown has strangely really prepared them to go against somebody like a Draymond Green? Like, we've seen the energy that Mike has provided all season long with the turn the Jets on and the yelling. I can only imagine what we don't see at practice, him laying into people, him, just his high energy. You would have to imagine that the Kings probably, and, Mike obviously spent a good amount of time watching Draymond every single day in practice. I do feel like there's an element of maybe, the Kings are there. You think what Draymond's doing now is bad in the game? You should see Mike and all the crazy stuff he does during practice.
It's a great point because, as I mentioned, Kevin Herter was on, as you may have heard, he was on with Jay Ross and Dave Wiglin. And he said, we've talked about Draymond. And my first thought, frankly, was, and I believe I said this on the show.
Yeah, you did.
Like, already Draymond's in their heads.
Mm-hmm.
If they're going, we got to be careful.
Yeah.
But it might have been, look, this is what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't have a hard time believing that Mike Brown got them, not just talk to them about be careful, but prepared them for that type of, if you will, psychological playoff warfare.
Right. Kind of like the story that I shared yesterday of him laying into Keegan on the floor. If Mike Brown, your head coach, is putting you in those kind of situations, and I'm not saying it's bad for Mike to yell at his players, but if those players are constantly being challenged, being yelled at, having that energy thrown at them, it's probably not so big of a deal, and they probably view it as a, Draymond just joke. Like, they probably laugh at it, honestly, Draymond's antics, more than, actually getting a rise out of them.
By the way, I've been meaning to look up the meaning of the word antics, because we also
people use it like crazy,
and
especially
I don't
right
know
now.
Some of the things Draymond does, I'm not sure stomping on someone's chest can be described as an antic.
Okay, antic. This is by the Oxford Dictionary.
Yes.
Foolish, outrageous, or amusing behavior.
Well, it is outrageous.
It is outrageous.
Antics are more like, I can't believe he put that goofy hat on.
Right,
and
exactly.
Went into church or something.
Yeah. Like if
That's
Draymond,
an antic.
exactly. That is. We have to find a better word for that. I'll look at synonyms during the break. Let's see here.
Anyway, all-time playoff win, Sacramento coaches, Rick Adelman, number 134. Saint was number 2 on that list with 1, but Mike Brown now passed him. So Mike Brown, 2 wins, is second all-time among the list on the list of Sacramento Kings playoff wins for a coach.
Insane. And I mean, I also have here written down the regular season stats. Mike Brown's already 8th amongst Sacramento era head coaches in terms of wins after one season.
He just got here.
He's 20 wins behind Luke Walton, who's in 4th with 68. He's a 50-win season next year behind Dave Yeager, who has 98. And Gary St. Jean, of course, is number 2 with 159. Rick Adelman, Mike's got a way to go. Rick finished with 395.
Gary St. Jean told us to watch Malik Monk in this series. He tells us what to watch for in Game 3 when Saint joins us next on Chris and Company, Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
I had the most old man moment in my life last night. So at one point I jump up and I'm waving the towel, threw my back out. I was in bad shape, man.
Wow.
Like that, I missed.
This is during the game.
During the game, I missed almost the entire second quarter. Right,
the best quarter.
Yes, I was flat on my back, dude.
Weird. The Kings had their best quarter when you weren't there, huh?
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on Sactown Sports.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Warehouse Paint is where the local pros go for all of their paint project needs. Enjoy same-day turnarounds, same-day color matching, color consultation services, and free job site deliveries. With a large in-stock selection of PPG and Benjamin Moore paints and stains, and an expert sales team that is here to help, Warehouse Paint has exactly what you need to complete your next project. Visit warehousepaint.com to find a store near you. That's warehousepaint.com.
When you're ready to get properly fitted for golf clubs, join the thousands of Northern California golfers who visited the indoor-outdoor Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio. Players of all abilities found the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio offers answers to questions about golf club fitting. You'll find a professional staff of fitters, major equipment brands, and cutting-edge technology featuring TrackMan. See for yourself at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway. Call 916-808-2531 to schedule your fitting. 808-2531 for longer, straighter drives.
Great team, great team. Where's the defense? Defense! Okay, everyone take a break. Greetings, Sacramento. Doug Christie here for the Good Feet store, asking, when is something too good to be true? When it probably is. And had I not experienced it for myself, this spectacular season would definitely qualify as too good to be true. So everyone out there in radio land, continue to enjoy. Something else that could seem too good to be true is Good Feet Arch Supports. But trust me, I've experienced firsthand the comfort, balance, and support possible with Good Feet Arch Supports. And so have countless others who have pretty much given up hope. It's time you felt good again. Take your feet to the Good Feet store for free personalized arch support, fitting, and test walk. Experience for yourself the comfort, balance, and support missing in your life. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now Vacaville, online at goodfeet.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Make your New Year's resolutions yet? Let me help. Trade out of that old car and into something safe and reliable, like a new Folsom Lake Kia with a low payment. Shop Folsom Lake Kia, family owned for over 20 years.
Have you made a mistake in your past that you want removed from your record? At the Gonzalez Law Office, we know that good people make mistakes. Restore your rights. Clear your record. Call us at 916-304-9187. That's 916-304-9187 or at saclegaldefense.com. Do you have a pending criminal case or injured in an accident? At the Gonzalez Law Office, we handle all criminal and injury cases. We don't settle for less, and neither should you. Call the Gonzalez Law Office at 916-304-9187 or visit us at saclegaldefense.com.
Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. CalHope can help. Access CalHope's free and secure mental health resources today. Call 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org.
KHTK AM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your local sports leader in the 916. This is Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Lott with your Sactown Sports headlines. The NBA announced that yesterday that Warriors forward Draymond Green has been suspended for Game 3 against the Sacramento Kings for stepping on Domantas Sabonis. The league said the suspension was based in part on Green's history of unsportsmanlike conduct. Last night, the Sacramento Kings announced that center Domantas Sabonis suffered a certain contusion in Monday's game and will be questionable for Game 3 against the Warriors. Game 3 of the Kings and Warriors is tomorrow night, and Sactown Sports will have you covered. It will start with Kettles and Rami live from Doco at 2, followed by game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner at 5:30. And tip-off for the game is scheduled for 7. You can check all that out right here on Sactown Sports. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to Whitey and Watkins. I'm Chris.
Out, and there's a reason why St. Jean is, number 2 on the Kings all-time coaching wins list. I mean, the guy knows what he's talking about. He told us, he said it. Jordan Poole and Malik Monk were going to be the 2 X factors. Malik has had 2 incredible games, and Jordan Poole in Game 2 had a 4-point performance, and the Warriors really could have used something out of him if they wanted to get that victory on Monday.
All guests come to you on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Former Kings coach, former Warriors coach, general manager, the great Garry St. Jean. Saint, first of all, thank you for all your insight last week. I mean, you told us to watch out for that Monk-Jordan Poole matchup.
Well, sometimes an old coach guesses right. And I was lucky, but I got to tell you, I'm so happy for all the Kings fans and everybody up there. Gosh, it took me back to the old days, the roaring of the crowd. It was spectacular, the best in the league. And, boy, the look on Vivek's face and everybody, it's just fantastic. And now the news comes with Draymond, and you know what? It's not a break till you make it a break. And it's an opportunity here now to capitalize and get really control of this series.
If you're coaching the Warriors, Saint, who starts with Draymond out? Or maybe you would do it differently than you think Steve Kerr would do it. What's your best guess of who starts with Draymond out for the Warriors tomorrow?
My guess is Kuminga. And, again, this is an inexperienced guy. Hadn't played well so far. And they're going to need him to step up and not just score. He's got to rebound more. He doesn't get to the glass like he should with his frame. This changes the entire outlook of the Warriors. Yes, on the defensive end, because he's the fulcrum to the wheel. And when he's low, weak side, he's like, the conductor in the orchestra. He's telling everybody where to go, but he's seeing things 3 beats before everybody else. He's brilliant on that end. He can switch everything. He can guard big and small. On the offensive end, I don't know that he gets enough credit for what he does for that team. He takes a lot of weight off of Steph. Compare him a little bit to Sabonis. You can run your offense through him, whether it's in the elbow, where it's low post, whether it's in the trailer position on the break. You can run them off the elbow where they hit and cut off of them and all of the dribble handoffs and all that. So this is a total change. And you guys saw today, I want to say they've won 33% when he's out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Saint, as a coach, how do you handle having a player like Draymond on your team, like a guy who can help you so much on the floor, but also brings a lot of emotions and situations like what we've seen play out here in this series and like in Draymond's past? Just how do you deal with that as a coach?
With kid gloves. Yeah, you're walking along and you got to be. And in today's game, and in the past too, coaches can X's and O's. It's about relationships.
Right.
It's about earning each other's respect and trust. And Steve Kerr is, I just think, magnificent at that. He's a great, great guy. And it's not been an easy road to deal with him, both for the players and for the coaches. Look what happened in the preseason. So he didn't help himself when he started ranting and raving when they were reviewing the play and yelling at all the fans and who was sitting in that section but the commissioner.
Garry St. Jean, our guest on Chris and Company. Coach, as you well know, the Kings got 8 more shots in game 1. They got 10 more than the Warriors in game 2.
Yes.
So how does Steve Kerr find more possessions in this series?
Well, I think there's 3 things, guys, that really stick out to me, and that's one of them, the rebounding. And they got hurt in the paint, offensive rebounds. That's a big factor. And getting more shots, coaches love that. The other 2 factors to me are the turnovers. They're turning the ball over. What, they have 20 in the last game in that vicinity?
Mm-hmm.
And that's killing you. And some of them were live ball turnovers, meaning it didn't go in the 5th row. They just deflected it and went down and scored. And the other one is their fouls. They're one of the worst in the league at committing fouls. Well, what does that do? It allows the Kings to set their defense up at the other end, takes away the best part of their game, which is transition play, where they need and get early shots, and they're going to need that tomorrow with Steph, because now you can change how you're going to play Steph, because they ran Draymond as like point forward, and that took Steph off the ball. But now he's going to have to handle the ball more. You saw a box and one. They may blitz him or put a hit on him at midcourt. So there's a lot of things that in Mike Brown's toolkit that he can go to try to slow down Steph Curry. And if anything, I think they need to get Klay Thompson more shots. That's a big key. And boy, guys, we've talked to you guys. I heard you talking about Monk, and Sabonis big on the boards. Fox, same thing, clutch in the 4th quarter. But what a game for Davion Mitchell.
Yeah.
Hey guys, you know what? If you're coaching there and your assistants say, "Hey coach, you want to put somebody in for him?" You know what you do? You put your fingers in your ears, and you say, "I can't hear you."
Yeah.
And if he's tired,
Yeah.
you look the other way if he's looking for a sub because he's playing so good. I can't take you off the floor.
Yeah. No,
He was tremendous.
He plays so hard too. That's the thing. And to me, that Davion and Steph matchup has been my favorite thing to watch from this series. And saying you talked before the series started, and you talked a lot about Monk and Poole matchup. Which matchups have intrigued you the most now that the games have been played?
I don't know if you guys found Harrison some power juice or something from the Sacramento River. Or, listen, first, he's a first-class guy, a veteran leader. He's always been dependable on defense, and he rebounds his position, and he's always been a great three-point shooter, especially the right corner. Well, my gosh, the other day he's putting it down and taking it off the bounce, and I'm saying, young fella, go for it. I mean, he was tremendous.
Yeah.
And guys, you guys watch every game. And the fans, I have so much respect for Herter. This guy, you get pigeonholed in the league. He's a shooter. And he's not a shooter off the bounce. He's a drift shooter. Or maybe he can come off a baseline screen. Let me tell you what, that guy knows the game.
Yeah.
He can run pick and roll. When he plays in a 2-man game with Sabonis, it's a thing of beauty. They really understand each other inside and out. He's played terrific. And, we've talked about Monk. We've talked about Mitchell. And you know what? In Lyles, game 1, making the threes, good job, steady. And even Lynn knocking in a couple. So I thought the Warriors had the edge on the bench, and it hasn't been that way. And that's been a big key in the 2 wins.
Great insight as always, Coach. We appreciate you very, very much. Enjoy the rest of the series. We'll talk to you again soon.
Well, I'll talk to you soon. And you know what? I got the leaf blower going. So now I can put it on high and get back to my big job today.
All right. Good luck. Let us know if you need any help,
Appreciate
Coach.
it.
All right, guys. Have a great day.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
too, Coach. I'll help him out. I would gladly help out Garry St. Jean do his yard work any day of the week, whenever he needs me.
We've talked about that. As far as the bench battle, it hadn't even been close.
Not even close.
You can cherry pick some numbers that show that it has been close, but it really hasn't been.
Especially in terms of impact. Right. Like you said, you can maybe pick some numbers out. I think at game one, the bench scoring looked 60, even.
55 or 55,
I think it was 55-50, and so it looked even. But just in terms of impact, like the Sacramento bench, Malik Monk, Coach mentioned Trey Lyles' impact. He went down the entire bench there. Alex Len, Davion Mitchell, every single person has came in and just made huge impact for Sacramento.
How badly injured is Sabonis? How good is the math for the Kings at this point? We're back in 90 seconds with that. Chris and company, Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Sactown Sports is Sacramento's new home for the San Francisco 49ers.
It feels awesome. We deserve this. Let's go, Niners!
Purdy.
Purdy going to throw, and it is Kittle in the back of the end zone.
Samuel.
Debo 10. Debo. Touchdown!
And McCaffrey.
Touchdown! CMC!
They all live here on Sactown Sports.
Your official home for 49ers football.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Keeping you company with the company. It's Chris and Company with Chris Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Hey, it's Chris Watkins. I'm Kevin Michael Whitey Gleason. Thanks to Garry St. Jean for being with us. Also, Anthony Slater. We talked to Slates earlier. And thank you for being with us on YouTube, on the YouTube chat. Interesting thoughts on Coach St. Jean on the YouTube chat. Danielle says, LOL, that guy seems amazing and fun. And Jane Ash says, any dude with a leaf blower is a dude worth knowing.
It's a good plug to have. I don't know anybody actually who owns a leaf blower. It's probably comes in handy.
Such a nice guy. I mean, he's coached in the NBA, and he's like, yeah, I always got time for you guys. It's just it's awesome. Good guy.
He's the best.
And he obviously
love the energy.
You listen to him, it's like, oh my goodness, wow, coach.
Thank
you for the insight.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing that's most important is just the wealth of knowledge that man has, especially in just the inside as well. I mean, he's very familiar with both organizations, both franchises. Not many people can provide the level of insight of Coach St. Jean.
However, he's not a doctor. I'm not either. Though.
Are you sure?
My wife works at a hospital. My mom used to work at a hospital. I've been to a hospital.
You're doctor adjacent.
I'm kind of qualified to speak on medical issues. But in all seriousness, how badly injured is Sabonis? Based on what we know, do you think that's something Kings fans need to be concerned with at all? I mean, was it what they call sternum contusion?
Yeah.
That's your breastbone is your sternum.
Yep.
And then the way he shot those free throws after he got stomped on, I don't know. Does that concern you at all?
It's concerning. I don't think, I don't suspect Sabonis will miss any time because of it. But, again, you never know that maybe, again, when he's really tired, heavy breathing, maybe he can't, get the same level of deep breath that he needs to. I have never, knock on wood here, I've never been stepped on, especially not in the chest. I can't really tell you. Like I said, I'm no doctor. I can't tell you exactly all the ins and outs of what that feels like. But if I had to imagine, it probably doesn't feel great. And, it probably does affect something for sure. There's no way. I mean, Draymond, again, we talked about it the other day. He didn't just step on Domantas Sabonis' chest. There's a reason we're calling it the stomp. He did put some real effort behind it, and
right.
Draymond's also 6'8", 200 plus pounds. It's going to have some effect.
He meant for him to feel that.
He did.
He was so angry that Sabonis had grabbed his ankle that he's like, I'll show you what you get for that.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons the league made the decision. They may have already been leaning that way, but the visual was so bad, and they just kept showing it over and over. And every time I saw it, as I said yesterday, it looked worse. And then there was the still picture of Draymond in menacing fashion with his foot raised over
great
Sabonis.
Meme potential for that picture, by the way.
Yeah.
But it's not great.
And then there's still some who say, oh, Sabonis is faking it.
Definitely not faking it. Again, I would like to if anyone thinks that Domantas Sabonis was faking anything, I would like you to volunteer yourself to be stepped on and see how it feels, because I don't need to be stepped on to guess that it probably doesn't feel great, and it's going to have some impact on you like that. Especially when it's in minute 40 of a game, you're already pretty exhausted. Your body's a little bit weaker. You're a little bit more susceptible to injury. I have a tough time believing that stomp did absolutely nothing to Domas.
Iban says it's a bruise. He'll play. Danielle says Defenders is on the YouTube chat. Of course, Defenders will be going into Sabonis chest hard this next game for sure.
Possibly, for sure. I mean,
If
that
you're
would
Sabonis,
require
are you a
Golden State.
little less likely to step in to try to take a charge?
Maybe. I mean, we saw him take that really big charge against Steph that got overturned. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe he's like, hey, Keegan, maybe can you slide over a little early and take this one for me? Because Sabonis already, and he's already a guy we talk about who takes so much punishment. Maybe he doesn't volunteer himself for a little bit more of the dirty work.
Maybe.
Golden State also, that would require Golden State to drive the lane, like Slater mentioned earlier. Golden State really hasn't driven the lane at all. Maybe this provokes Golden State to kind of attack Sabonis a little bit more if his chest is hurting.
The only thing that concerns me is because it's obvious that Sabonis is one of those guys. There are a lot of them. They almost play better when they are a little injured. That's like the football mentality. Sometimes you're injured here, there, and he's hurt all over.
It's hurt all the time,
It almost
that's
feels
the
you.
normal.
Yeah. But if you have something that's in any way constricting you in your chest where you go to shoot or something, and you get, or reach up and you get a stabbing pain.
Right.
And I'm sure there are many things they can do about that.
Right.
That would concern me, but ultimately I don't think it's going to be an issue.
No, I didn't really consider that. But that's a very real possibility too. Like you said, like you go up for a jump shot, and even if it's just like a sharp, quick pain, even that is like that's something that can affect you. I don't know, like you mentioned there, you put it perfectly. I'm sure they have things for that to mitigate the pain, but
take one extra Advil.
Exactly.
Or whatever,
Exactly. But I would go with some Pozole and Sprite. It generally helps. But I don't think it'll be something that we notice. I mean, Domantas Sabonis, his hand, he doesn't have a right hand all season long. We really didn't notice that. And I think you're right. He's kind of a guy who just thrives with injuries. And, it's just kind of the way he plays. He's normally hurt. And so I'm sure this will mean nothing new for him.
Fact of the matter is the Kings have this 2-0 lead. So, Chris, what does that mean? You look historically at teams that have had 2-0 leads in series. How comfortable should the Kings be with that?
They should definitely be feeling good. Generally, when you go up 2-0 in a series, that's a statement win, and yes.
Is it time to light the beam on this series already?
It is not time to light the beam yet.
Question.
We're feeling good.
I'm just asking a question.
With a 2-0 lead, you feel great. That is a 100% fact. You should feel confident with a 2-0 lead. It's not over. You and I were just talking during this break. If Golden State, for whatever reason, comes out really inspired by Draymond's absence and say, we're not going to let this define us, we're not going to let this end our season, they win on Thursday, Draymond comes back on Sunday, there's a different energy. I'm sure Chase Center gives him a standing ovation. I'm sure Draymond comes with crazy energy, ready to take out his anger out on Sacramento. I'm sure, that could lead to Golden State going 2-2 right back to Sacramento for game 5 here. So this thing's not over, and that puts a lot of importance on game 3. Again, like I said up top, it feels like Sacramento needs to treat this game 3 as if it's an elimination game.
Yeah, if anything, you need to find the motivation through being up 2-0 to make you play harder.
Exactly. Yeah, there's definitely a natural tendency, right? When you have a 2-0 cushion or any cushion at all, you kind of, you're like, oh, okay, maybe what we're
you can relax a little bit.
Our game plan's working. We
working.
don't need to stress about the little things, or I was so worried about making sure X player doesn't do Z, and we're it's okay because we're clearly the better team. Kings can't have that mindset. Every single game, as cliche, as corny as it sounds, it's a 0-0 series every single day that they play, and they need to have that mentality. They can't come out, especially not against this Golden State team, who is probably thinking like Sacramento is taking their foot off the gas. They need to come out fully prepared for the Warriors' best shot, because the Warriors have their backs against the wall. They're a wounded animal. They need to have a response. They're not just going to lay down and die here. There's no way in that Warriors locker room right now. They're like, well, Draymond's out. That's our best defender. It's going to be really, really, really tough, guys. I think that they're acknowledging that it's not going to be easy, but that they're just like they said when they were down 0-2. They're just going to say it's a challenge that we're going to have to overcome, and we've overcome every challenge that's been in our way so far. So why would this one be any different?
Katie brought up an interesting point today on the J-Ross show with Dave. What's his name? When she
J.
said,
Mars.
yeah, okay, yeah, thank you.
It's
sorry, J. Mars.
It's J. Ross and J. Mars.
That's right.
In the morning.
Right. She was saying, if you're the Kings are so well prepared for the Warriors and for Draymond, and now all of a sudden they give you a different look. Well, clearly they wouldn't choose to do that. We know that, but it's going to be different, something that you aren't prepared for. Odds are it's something you don't have to worry about as much as if Draymond's on the floor, but you don't know. So that can be a little unsettling. We don't even know. We'll talk more about that coming up. Who's going to start?
Yeah.
How are they going to deal with Draymond's absence?
Right. And not only start, but finish. And how are they going to disperse the minutes? Will they play Moody? We saw JaMychal Green get a minute. I would be surprised if he's part of their answer. But, Anthony Slater kind of talked about that.
He looked like the most surprised person in the building. Like,
I think he was shocked too.
I'm playing?
His jersey was untucked and everything. I make jokes that Rashawn Holmes, he has his hair down, and that's how I know he has no intention of playing, because he doesn't, like, when he checks in, he'll quickly put it up. JaMychal Green had his jersey completely untucked. Wouldn't have been surprised if it's one of those where you rip off the tearaways and you didn't put your game shorts on because you just forgot. I think he was just as surprised as anybody else that he was in that game. Maybe more surprised than Terrence Davis even was that he checked in.
So with Draymond out, who's on the spot for the Warriors? How do the Kings take advantage of that? And who on the Kings might play more with Draymond not available for game 4? That is game 3, pardon me. Getting ahead of myself. It's been that fun of a series. That's next. Chris and Company, White and Watkins, Sactown Sports, SactownSports.com.
It's Cattles and Rami.
Simone said, quote, Rami's sending me to go get coffee.
Simone is misrepresenting me, which I expect from Nick. She said she had to get something from her car. I don't know where her car is, so I said, are you going towards Starbucks? She said, no, but I can get you something. Is that me ordering Simone around, treating her like
I don't believe
an
any of this.
intern?
Enough of his nonsense.
Rami's upset. Rami doesn't appreciate being misrepresented.
Cattles and Rami, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by R.C. Willey Home Furnishings.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Nice looking day ahead for this Wednesday. Well, mainly sunny skies, light northwest winds, and temperatures up slightly for the afternoon. Expect highs to peak in the mid-60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
New flooring instantly updates a room. RC Willey has an incredible selection of carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate. Their experts will help you find the perfect floor for your home and schedule a free in-home measure. Shop RC Willey in Elk Grove or Rockland today.
At Elk Grove Honda, we'd like to help you purchase your next new Honda. Right now at Elk Grove Honda, new Hondas are arriving on a regular basis, including the newly designed CR-V, new design Accords, exciting Civics, and much more. And Elk Grove Honda's pre-owned inventory offers choices there as well. So give Elk Grove Honda a chance to show you the new or pre-owned Honda you're looking for. We are Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard, or visit us at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, clickgranger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Sacramento, while you're watching the playoffs, don't get stuck on the bench in a warm house. Fox Family Heating and Air can get you cooling fast with most parts backed by a lifetime warranty.
Fox Family Heating and Air.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door. Truck season savings extended at Maida Chevy in the Elk Grove Auto Mall. Got a huge selection of new 2022 and 23 half-ton Silverados in stock, ready to go. Find your savings at MaidaChevy.com. Find new roads.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com. Jiffy Lube's Country in the Park, Northern California's biggest country music festival of the year, is back May 5th and 6th at Cal Expo, starring Lady A,
Chris Young,
Brett Eldridge,
and so many more.
plus a Boots Boot and Line Dance Saloon, interactive lounges, and Sacramento's best food trucks. Weekend passes start at just $80. Tickets are on sale now at SactownSports.com. Country in the Park, brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort, Hanley's Western Wear, and Quick Help Car Wash.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Chris Verlotte with your Sactown Sports headlines. The NBA announced yesterday that Warriors forward Draymond Green has been suspended for Game 3 against the Sacramento Kings for stepping on Domantas Sabonis. The league said the suspension was based in part on Green's history of unsportsmanlike acts. Last night, the Sacramento Kings announced that center Domantas Sabonis suffered a sternum contusion in Monday's game and will be questionable for the game against the Warriors. Game 3 of the Kings and Warriors tomorrow night is scheduled for tomorrow night, and Sactown Sports will have you covered. We'll start with Cattles and Rami live from Doco at 2, followed by Game Night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner at 5:30, and tip-off for the game at 7. You can listen to it all right here on Sactown Sports. Now let's get back to Chris and Company with Whitey and Watkins.
I have to tell you, when we first got word last night that Draymond Green had been suspended for Game 3, I wasn't expecting to see it. Chris shared Frankie's tweet with you and I, and when I first read it, I thought, the numbers came out wrong in my head. 3 game suspension. Like, what?
Whoa.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
No. I mean, it's significant enough as it is, a Game 3 suspension. But I was absolutely flabbergasted.
I just didn't suspect it. Again, for the reasons we were talking about a lot yesterday, just it didn't feel like the league wanted to get involved in this series. And, already I'm seeing Warrior fans starting to talk about how, this is already unfair for us. They're out to get us. Oh, if the Kings win, it's tainted. Well, you know what? What's still for Warrior fans, the positive they can take out of this, Warriors still undefeated in series where Draymond, Clay, and Steph play every game in the series. So that no matter what happens in the series, that record will stay intact. So they'll still be able to throw that one around all they want.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what to expect from the Warriors. Whatever they got left, Kings are going to see it in Game 3.
It's a kitchen sink game.
Yeah,
we had to look that one up a couple weeks ago in terms of what is the kitchen like? Where does that phrase come from?
Thrown everything.
Yeah, what was it? It was back in the day. I think it had to do with the war. Yeah, World War II. It was for the price of people were selling literally their entire houses except for the kitchen sink. So if you threw in everything, including the kitchen sink, that's really giving it all.
Chris Watkins, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I suspect them to throw the kitchen sink out there tomorrow.
What if you were coaching the Golden State Warriors, which isn't hard to imagine?
I wouldn't be here. That's for sure.
Basketball mind. You get word that Draymond. All right, no Draymond. So who are you starting?
I think I would go with GP2. I know size-wise it doesn't really work out for them, but I think I would either go GP2 or Kuminga. I think Kuminga fixes the size issue, the problem with, they don't have, with Draymond being out, if you put GP2 in there, if you put Moody in there, if you just put Poole in the starting lineup and just kind of move Wiggins up to the 4, I don't really know if that solves the size issue. I think Kuminga, if he can be a good rebounder, he ideally kind of fits that mold of a 4 a little bit better than everybody else. But just in terms of how they play, I've really liked what I've seen from GP2. The key for him is can he hit shots? I think that it would be nice if they could have GP and Wiggins on the floor at the same time to defend De'Aaron Fox, and also when Malik Monk comes in. I that's where I would go. I would go GP2. What about you?
I wouldn't go GP2 just because I think he's so useful for them coming off the bench.
That was, as I was talking, I was like, it would be nice to have him. I think they enjoy, sorry to cut you off, but I think they enjoy bringing him in to guard Malik when he comes in as well. So,
I mean, it wouldn't shock me. I could see why they would do it because he's so effective, but my guess is they like having something extra to bring off the bench. Kuminga makes a lot of sense. If I had to guess, I would think maybe they go even smaller and DiVincenzo starts.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it gives the Kings opportunities to defensively get more pressure on the basketball because the Warriors run so much of their offense through Draymond Green. But I think at this point, the Warriors offensively against the Kings defense, we're just running high pick and rolls. That's like all we got left.
Yeah.
And they've had success with that. But everything else, the Kings have been taken away anyway.
And if they're going to continue to run those high pick and rolls, I think that's where you can maybe see Kuminga really be beneficial to start, because he's a much better role. He's probably the best role man that they have on the team. And that would be great for them. But Sacramento matchup wise, it could also present some issues. They've really struggled with more longer athletic threes and bigger 4s, which Kuminga would kind of present, especially defensively. I think that would be an issue. It would be surprising coming off of what he had 4 minutes. Is that correct? 4 minutes in game. Yeah. 4 minutes played for Kuminga in game 2. That's my only hesitancy, is it clearly Steve Kerr, for whatever reason, doesn't trust Kuminga in this series.
It'd be a real roll of the dice, and maybe they come up with 7.
Yeah,
but if they don't, they're in a hole already.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think I looked it up, and during the regular season, if Green were to miss time, they would generally go with Kuminga in that starting lineup, and maybe DiVincenzo, like you said, right?
Yeah, I think Kuminga is probably more likely because of just the positional fit.
Yeah,
we're probably going to see more of Anthony Lamb,
right? And, we haven't seen any of him, right? I don't think he's played a single minute in this series.
He has not.
Do you like Anthony Lamb? To me, he's a very meh. Like, if he's not on the Warriors, he's probably not in the league.
He's a decent shooter and he's a smart player, and it just speaks to what a difficult season they've had.
Right.
This is a two-way guy that was undrafted that does a couple things pretty well, and they've needed that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he's done a good job for him, but you're right. I mean, he's not really. Yeah, I mean, like you said, he hasn't even played in the series so far.
So is this also if we want to point all the way back to the Warriors offseason, is this a failure to kind of build the correct, like, was JaMychal Green the guy that they were, I mean, Wiseman also, but it was JaMychal Green the guy that they were hoping would be an answer in this kind of situation?
Yeah,
like, what was the Warriors' plan for this?
They had to replace Porter, what they got from Porter,
right?
And, Nemanja Bjelica,
right?
And DiVincenzo, for the most part, has done well.
Yeah.
JaMychal Green is just not really giving him much. And I think we talked about this earlier. The Warriors' plan was for those young guys, Kuminga and remember James Wiseman and Moody, to, by this time of the season, being like regular, trusted, valuable rotational pieces.
Do you feel like
it didn't work?
It didn't work. And that stems from my question here of the Warriors tried to do the thing that the Boston Celtics did, and I don't know how people would view how the Celtics experiment went, but living in the present while also trying to build for the future. The Boston did it in the later 2010s, and where they had those late Western Conference Finals runs where Jason Tatum's a rookie, Jaylen Brown's second year in the league, Isaiah Thomas is the star of their team, Kyrie Irving as well, and that worked out. I think, especially in terms of the future planning, worked out really well for Boston as they sit as the number 2 seed in the East, and Brown and Tatum are incredible. Golden State tried to do a similar thing where they had their current dynasty. They had Steph, Clay, and Draymond, but also at the same time, like you mentioned, tried to bring in Wiseman, Kuminga, and Moody and try and have them, shepherd them as the future of Golden State. Where did it go wrong? Was it just, were they the wrong picks? Do you think they should have maybe cashed out like Los Angeles? The Lakers are a team that kind of, sold all of their future assets to try and win now. And, you could say what you will about the Lakers, but I think that they're in a pretty good situation, at least for this season, to make a run.
What they tried, to your point, really difficult, a 2-timeline plan, which is kind of like, well, I'd say it's a Christopher Nolan movie, but you don't watch movies, so you would know.
Is it like a Batman movie?
More like Dunkirk, or one of those movies where you're like, where are we here? But they tried to bring in the foundational pieces of the future while still getting value out of their foundational pieces of their current pieces.
Right.
So they decided we're going to swing for the fences. We're going to get Wiseman, who could be a great player. Mm-hmm. He's raw, but he could be a great player. Well, it turns out he may not be a very good player at all. Right. We'll see. Kuminga, same thing. He's raw, but he's got tremendous upside. Well, he hasn't approached that yet. You know who they could have drafted with those picks? They could have had Halliburton, and they could have had Franz
Wagner to me is the big one. I think about Franz Wagner on this Warrior team once a month. It makes me really scared. I'm glad that they didn't make that selection as somebody who doesn't root for the Warriors. But to me, Franz Wagner is that perfect 3-4 guy, that person who can play the 3, play the 4, but also just provide all the little things. That to me is like just a huge what if for them. Mm-hmm. It's incredible. And just like what a sliding doors moment, because Golden State really at this moment in time could be extending their finals run. If they make that Franz Wagner pick, I don't know about just that one, but I
told them they should have.
if they would have, you should have listened to Whitney. If they would have just made a couple different moves, this is not the Warriors are not facing potential end of dynasty like they are right now, and that's really another intriguing storyline from this series.
You know why I believe they decided Halliburton, Wagner, those guys look like they could be pretty good, but we want to get superstars.
Yeah, they want to get
Wiseman, Kuminga with all this upside. It's like, well, they gambled.
You know who fell for that a couple times in their 16-year playoff drought?
Who's that?
The Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento Kings.
Ben McLemore comes to mind. Thomas Robinson was more of somebody who fell, but Ben McLemore for sure is somebody who comes to mind when I think of, he's really, really raw, but the potential is just through the roof. And so we're taking it for the potential, not the guy that he is right now.
Coming up, what Draymond's absence could mean for the Kings rotation. And we got to get into why everybody loves Steph. Everybody loves Steph, except for the guy sitting across from me right now.
It's like, I don't know who everybody is, because
everybody except this guy.
There's one right here. Who doesn't.
That's next. Chris and Company, White and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings have taken a commanding 2-0 lead over the Golden State Warriors.
They end up winning it by 8.
Can the best road team in the West go into Chase Center Thursday night and get a win in Game 3 over the defending champs? Our coverage begins with Cattles and Rami live from the Golden One Center at 2 p.m. with tip-off at 7 from San Francisco. On your home for the Kings, Sactown Sports.
And now a special motorcycle weather report from Progressive. Well, today you can expect lots of cloud cover with 0% chance of raining on your parade because you'll be riding your motorcycle vroom vroom. That rumbling low-pressure system beneath you should give way to a relaxing commute and the sudden urge to take the scenic route everywhere you go because, dagnabbit, you're having fun out there. That's your forecast. Back to you. This has been a special motorcycle weather report from Progressive, where every day's a beautiful day to ride with coverage from America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Get a quote today and see what you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
The clock is ticking. Get off the bench and head down to Fastener's Tool Outlet, where you'll find the lowest prices on Milwaukee power tools and much more. Why pay more at a big box store? Get a triple-double at Fastener's Tool Outlet with weekly and monthly specials, including up to 50% off select hand tools, batteries, power tools, and fasteners. Whether you're looking for a new pack-out box, woodworking equipment, or a Milwaukee impact driver, Fastener's Tool Outlet has the tools you need to do the job. Make a slam dunk with Fasteners Tool Outlet, 6701 Power Inn Road, or on the web at fastenersinc.net.
Great team. Where's the defense? Defense! Okay, everyone take a break. Greetings, Sacramento. Doug Christie here for the Good Feet store, asking, when is something too good to be true? When it probably is. And had I not experienced it for myself, this spectacular season would definitely qualify as too good to be true. So everyone out there in radio land, continue to enjoy. Something else that could seem too good to be true is Good Feet arch supports. But trust me, I've experienced firsthand the comfort, balance, and support possible with Good Feet arch supports. And so have countless others who have pretty much given up hope. It's time you felt good again. Take your feet to the Good Feet store for free personalized arch support, fitting, and test walk. Experience for yourself the comfort, balance, and support missing in your life. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now Vacaville, online at goodfeet.com.
There's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. And at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, we are proud to provide our best selection to get you there. Buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own report.
Hey, Scott, I haven't seen you in over a year, and you look great.
Good to see you, too. Yeah, I'm feeling good and have a new job.
No, there's something different about the way you look.
To be honest, a few months ago, I had an amazing robotic hair transplant procedure with Dr. Singh at Excel Medicine. It's called the artist procedure.
No way. Your hair looks completely natural, and you don't even have a scar. How did they do that?
Dude, the artist system is amazing. I have this fantastic hairline, and I'm happy with my results. He could probably help you, too, buddy.
Using the artist procedure, Dr. Singh can target and harvest healthy hair follicles with micron-level accuracy from the back of your head and transplant them where you need it. The procedure is painless, and you'll be back doing your regular activities in a couple of days. Ask Dr. Singh at Excel Medicine about the artist procedure. Call today, 916-932-4470. That's 932-4470 for a complimentary in-person or Zoom consultation, or on the web at excelmedicine.com. That's EXCEL medicine.com. See what the artist procedure can do for you.
These are actors and not real patients.
We all know the pain of being stuck in the past. But with Roseville Electric, you can get current. Roseville Electric provides you with clean, reliable electric solutions for your home or business. Whether you're looking to go electric, reduce your carbon footprint, or simply save on your monthly energy bill, Roseville Electric has a solution for you. For more info, visit getcurrentroseville.com today.
Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing strategies that deliver results. On your next campaign, aim higher. Go to aimyourdigital.com and get started today. aimyourdigital.com.
Live and local, it's Chris and Company with Chris Watkins on Sactown Sports.
He's Chris Watkins, Kevin Michael Whitey Gleason. Been a long time since the Kings have been in the playoffs, so
real long.
Chris, could you just give us a random Kings player from the playoff drought era?
From the drought,
for better, for worse, someone you liked, didn't like, doesn't matter. Just as a way of helping us appreciate even further, even more, what it means to have this drought over.
How about this?
Yeah, I'll go Darren Collison.
Oh, I loved Darren Collison. Really solid.
Yeah.
Solid point guard for a couple years there, too.
Except they replaced Isaiah Thomas.
Replace Isaiah Thomas. And then I think he got replaced by Rondo and didn't take kindly to that. And that was his last season. Like Darren Collison. Let's go Francisco Garcia. That's a name that just, I feel really, when I think about the players that were just incredibly likable, and, there's a lot of players who frustrated me during that 16-year playoff drought. Francisco Garcia, not one of them. Just always did a job, was a really good shooter. And
you know what happened to him? He was on an exercise ball at the practice facility, and it ruptured, and he was lifting weights and he ended up breaking his arm.
Are you serious?
And then he played after it was okay.
Whoa.
But I think the Maloofs ended up suing, I don't know, the maker of the exercise ball or something. But yeah, he's doing the thing. He's like, whoa. Ah!
Like it's a really bad break.
Yeah.
That's like the
No
worst
fault of
omen.
his.
Yeah, that's that's just like
That's the way things
that's
gone.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, when that happened, for sure, there was multiple people who were like, only in Sacramento. Only in Sacramento would something like that happen. And that is definitely an only in Sacramento moment, especially during the drought. That would be because Francisco, again, was one of their better players for a handful of years there. And I didn't know that. That's a tough break. When did that happen?
Chris, you got a random king from the drought era for us?
Jonathan Brockman.
Ooh, the Brockness monster.
I just loved him. He's just this guy that was I think it's because that's how I was in basketball. I just come off the bench and just go crazy for 5 minutes
on our show. Yeah.
Did he really?
Yes. That was the year they had him and Caspi and Tyreek Evans. They drafted all of them.
Yeah.
And it looked like, man, that's a great draft.
Yeah, that was like right when I started to tune out of Kings basketball just a little bit. That was definitely.
Oh man, they hadn't made the playoffs in a couple of years.
Yeah, that was definitely the start of like my maybe watching 16-win seasons isn't the best way that I was probably like 13-year-old kid should spend his days.
Well, people forget this, but the beginning of that year, the Kings were playing well. Remember that year, Tyreek Evans was rookie of the year with a 25-5 and all that. Yep. But the early part of the year, they were playing well. I think it was Jim O'Brien was the coach of the Pacers, if I'm not mistaken. And he said in December or January of that team, he said, this is a playoff team.
Old takes exposed.
Yeah, they were
terrible.
playing that at the time. It wasn't that ridiculous, but then it all unraveled. And Verlad, who Brockman's buddy was from UW was Spencer Haas.
Yeah, I do remember.
Boo.
It's been a long time. As far as the Draymond suspension, Jimmy Oceans 14th says, "I'm worried this helps Golden State. Kuminga can take it to the cup better than Draymond. Kuminga offensively someday will probably be light years ahead of anything Draymond's been. But right now, Kuminga can't do the things that Draymond does for them.
No, he's really just
one
a
game.
lob
Who
threat.
knows? You're right,
Yeah.
Jimmy. But yeah, there are things they rely on Draymond to do. He organizes them at both ends of the floor, and Kuminga's one of the guys he typically has to organize.
Yeah, and Kuminga's also somebody who, if he's left open on the perimeter where Draymond is at this point in his career is really hesitant to take that shot, Kuminga's not nearly as hesitant and is just as bad of a shooter. And so that's maybe something that Sacramento could bait him into, is just taking more perimeter shots than somebody like Draymond would traditionally take at that spot.
One of the reasons I asked you about a random king is because for some reason Quincy Doobie, did we mention somebody?
You mentioned him the other day.
All right.
He's
getting a lot of run on
Chinese
the
league.
YouTube
That's what
channel.
it was.
That's
yeah.
right.
Quincy Doobie's always the most random. Like if you watch during the playoff
he
drought,
could shoot.
That's always the one that people point to because he was
he
right
from Rutgers?
Rutgers. He was from
Yeah,
Rutgers. I think
okay.
he was like the 12th pick in the draft. He was also like right when the Kings started their playoff drought. So there was still a sense of, this is going to be the guy to take us into the new era.
Mhm.
And so I think there was a lot of hope for Quincy Doobie, 19th overall pick in the 2006 draft. So the season that the drought started, they took Quincy Doobie. There was hope that he would be the guy to take them into the future. I'm looking at his career stats right now. He was not that guy. Let me
Pretty
tell you.
small, as I remember, very slight.
Small, very slight. Listed at 6'3", 175, but looked like he was maybe 6'1", maybe 6 foot. And never averaged over 5 points a game in his career.
But a big star in China or a star in China?
I
Or
think he scored like
those-
70 in a game one time.
There you go.
Oh,
Quincy
there you have it.
Doobie.
Doobie. Yeah, from Rutgers University. Different time. Could you? Yeah.
Well, the Kings were paying the price for success. it's a similar thing to what's going on with the Warriors now. When you're good year after year after year, you don't get the great draft picks.
That's what I think DJ Khaled is made that famous, is struggling with success. It's really tough. It's really tough when you're so successful that your success ends up leading to your demise. It's really poetic justice, but it's a beautiful thing to watch the Golden State Warriors again. Yeah, they're kind of just at the moment, it feels like they are suffering from their success. It feels like that they are too reliant on their past success to try and dictate their future right now.
And that's the way the system's set up. You had a good year, fine. You will not get to pick among the best players the next year.
Right.
So
They try to works.
Well,
when the NBA and the referees are completely against you as an organization too, it's just what happens when you succeed. When you succeed, people want to see you fail.
Yeah, so Kuminga figures to get more minutes with Draymond out. Who knows? Who knows what a desperate animal like the Warriors will do in this situation? How about from the Kings side of it? Who could we expect will get more minutes or perhaps more touches?
Yeah.
I mean, there's certainly opportunities with Draymond out to attack the basket in ways that you don't normally have when he's in there. And the Kings have already had some success with that.
Yeah, I definitely think it's beneficial just for any Kings forward. There's not really many of them that they play. That's kind of their least deep position, but Harrison Barnes, can he be more aggressive? He's been someone who's has played really well, but just hasn't really, lit up the scoring side of things too much. Can he have a 20-point night? Keegan Murray, somebody who we talked about at the end of yesterday's show, he's really struggled. Can he maybe, without Draymond on the floor, that kind of enforcer, can Keegan get a little bit more aggressive looking for his shot? Trey Lyles is the big one for me. I think, now without Draymond on the floor, they really only have Looney as a really big-bodied presence, especially in the paint. To me, that's where Trey Lyles can eat on the glass. He can maybe, finish a little bit more in the paint, and he doesn't have to worry about somebody his size guarding him. If Kuminga's guarding him, maybe he can take him to the rack a little bit easier than what maybe Draymond, he would be able to take Draymond or something. So the Kings forwards for the Kings side is who I would be looking at for who benefits the most from Draymond Green's absence. Would you say from Golden State, you're probably on the Kuminga side of things in terms of?
I don't know if he'd start, but and also he's good. He's capable of doing some of those things, but they need him to rebound. And I could also see Steve Kerr, if Kuminga's out there and he's just not doing those things, he's going to try. All right, JaMychal Green, you get in there. You got to find somebody. Tough. And Lamb, I think Lamb is going to get. He trusts Lamb.
He does seem to trust Lamb, and I remember seeing him.
He's not the goat. He's the Lamb.
He's the Lamb. I remember seeing him early in the season when the Kings and Warriors were matching up, and he did have a little bit of impact. I think that there could be something to Anthony Lamb in a very, very reduced role.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. Yes. We still haven't figured out yet why when 98% of the basketball world loves number 30, the chef, Steph Curry.
Stop it.
My guy here, Chris Watkins, he's had enough of them.
I have.
Would you say that what you're experiencing is, could we call it Curry fatigue?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, definitely sick of. I'm sick and tired. Definitely and tired of Stephen Curry. And I think that we were talking about the proper definition of antics. I would say Stephen Curry. He is the proper definition of antics.
All right, we'll get further into Chris Watkins' Curry fatigue and see if anyone else in the area is feeling that as well. Also, what the NBA suspension agreement really says and what Warrior fans think it says. That's coming up here. Chris and company, Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
But here's some things maybe you didn't know about Draymond Green, Jason Ross.
Okay, what you got?
Draymond Green thinks Matt Barnes actually calls someone to light the beam.
Draymond Green tells everyone he meets he's vegan. Draymond Green wipes Cheeto fingers on the couch.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on Sactown Sports.
I'm Scott Trout, attorney and CEO of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell.
We help men deal with the life changes triggered by divorce, such as child custody and property division, among many others. But life changes also occur after divorce. These changes can make parts of your existing court order irrelevant or harder to follow. If you feel a modification to your court orders might be necessary, talk to us at Cordell & Cordell. We're a partner men can count on.
500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814. Cordell.
Hey, you want to be around people having a great time? You need to come check out Capital Casino, offering the most varieties of table games in the region in the friendliest environment. Come for the food, which is awesome, of course, and stay and play. Conveniently located in downtown Sacramento at 411 North 16th Street, right there in downtown Sacramento for over 20 years. Cap Casino, best food, best games, and of course, the best action. And please, gamble responsibly, 1-800-GAMBLER.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering professional-grade industrial supplies, plus real-time product availability and access to experts ready to answer your toughest questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now. What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Uma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Uma?
Yep. Switching to Uma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at Uma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
0 down with approved credit.
Listen to Oakland A's baseball on the weekends all season long right here on Sactown Sports, beginning with the pregame show brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
Have you made a mistake in your past that you want removed from your record? At the Gonzalez Law Office, we know that good people make mistakes. Restore your rights. Clear your record. Call us at 916-304-9187. That's 916-304-9187 or at SacLegalDefense.com. Do you have a pending criminal case or injured in an accident? At the Gonzalez Law Office, we handle all criminal and injury cases. We don't settle for less, and neither should you. Call the Gonzalez Law Office at 916-304-9187. or visit us at SacLegalDefense.com.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the flagship station of your Sacramento Kings.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
I'm Chris Erlad with your Sactown Sports headlines. The NBA announced yesterday that Warriors forward Draymond Green has been suspended for Game 3 against the Sacramento Kings for stepping on Domantas Sabonis. The league said the suspension was based in part on Green's history of unsportsmanlike acts. Last night, the Sacramento Kings announced that center Domantas Sabonis suffered a sternum contusion in Monday's game and will be questionable for Game 3 against the Warriors. Game 3 of the Kings and Warriors is tomorrow night, and Sactown Sports will have you covered. It all starts with Cattles and Rami live from Doco at 2. That will be followed by Game Night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner at 5:30, and tip-off for the game at 7. You can listen to it all right here on Sactown Sports. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to Chris and Company with Whitey and Watkins.
There are reasons why, of course, the NBA decided to suspend Draymond Green. There are reasons why many Warrior fans think the NBA decided to suspend Draymond Green. Are they the same? The reasons why they did, the reasons why Warrior fans think they did.
No, they are not the same.
Not always, are they? Not all of them. There's some differences there.
Yeah, Warrior fans are delusional.
Conspiracy!
At this moment in time. They are full-blown tinfoil hats. They think the league is out to get them. They think Sacramento always gets the benefit of the whistle, and they are
even JJ Redick said that today.
He did, which is
why.
I don't know.
Why are people even?
It literally. I mean, I think I did get a victim of troll yesterday from the Colin Cowherd tweet, but people are really, really serious about the Kings getting the benefit of the whistle. And it's just hilarious. It's like, what? The league has just because the Kings finally make it here does not mean that the league thinks it would be great for the Kings to win. I mean, it would be great if at some point during this 16-year playoff drought, the league would have cared about us winning games. You know, there's no agenda pro Sacramento in this postseason. I promise you that.
Sacramento fans, I think, tend to look at it as all time. We don't get the whistles going back to 2002. Yes. And JJ Redick, and I think he's probably thinking just of these first two games. And, that is part of home court advantage. Even right. Steve Kerr said, and I thought this was kind of a almost veiled criticism of the officials. He said after game 2, well, the Kings were the aggressors all night, and they were rewarded for that.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, they got the calls because they were the aggressors. So I could see in the first two games, but you know what? That's part of being at home.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was that so egregious that you could complain that, oh man, the Warriors didn't get any calls.
Yeah. No, and I think to Steve Kerr's point, I mean, I think to say Sacramento's the aggressors, I think the Kings would take that as a compliment. I think the Kings really have, they delivered the first punch. I think they set the tone on defense with how intense they've been playing defense, and the refs are adjusting. I think that's part of the playoffs as well, is, you have to adjust to how the game is being officiated. And clearly the refs are allowing a lot on the defensive end, specifically for physicality. Just got to adjust, Warriors, you're supposed to be the team that's been through it all, seen it all. Should be able, this should be no problem, right?
Yeah, it should be. I'm aware that a lot of Warrior fans are sensitive to this. The NBA has been a lot of people around the league. I'm not saying it has anything to do with this decision, but some owners have been resentful of the Warriors' success, and they've tried to penalize teams like the Clippers and the Warriors that spend so much money with the luxury tax.
The
and
CBA,
then in addition to that, the
Yeah.
new one is okay. Not only do you have to pay $7 per $1 when you're in the luxury tax on payroll. But you also now you have no mid-level exception. So I understand why Warrior fans are feeling that way. I think Joe Lacob has made it clear, like, the league is not happy with me. But and I think also Warrior fans have pointed out, what is it? We've had the most back-to-backs in the league this year. The league is out to get us. But I don't think that had anything to do with the decision to suspend Draymond Green.
No, it had absolutely nothing to do with the suspension of Draymond Green. I'm curious, a question that our YouTube chat is bringing up right now. Imagine if Trey Lyles were the one who stomped on Stephen Curry. How do you think that would?
First of all, you would be cheering. I know that.
I probably would have. Yeah, I would have been like, I would have given Trey Lyles a standing ovation.
I think that's why he brought it up, because Chris and I are both Trey Bays, and he hates Steph Curry. He really wants him to do that.
That would be.
But to answer the question, not only would he get suspended, they would probably
eject him
dismantle
from
the franchise.
League. Yes, I completely agree. I think that they would no longer be the Sacramento Kings. They could move to Seattle at that point, Vegas. Who knows?
They'd disperse all the players.
Probably end the
elsewhere.
playoffs.
Yeah,
and,
there'd be no more franchise.
Vivek might actually have to make a public apology and apologize for the lewd behavior of his team. And just very interesting to think of it from that perspective. I know Warrior fans are super upset and again feel like the league is out to get them, but just imagine if one of our guys did that to your guy, come on. They would be calling for everyone's head.
What's your best guess here as we look at why did they suspend him? If Draymond had just gone right to the tunnel, as he did, and it just what happened? He sat there and then he goes right to the tunnel. Do you think he would have been suspended instead of getting on the chair and doing whatever he did, and ranting and raving?
Yeah, I think no, I don't think he would have gotten suspended. However, in the description of why they did suspend him for this incident, it did say that it is because Draymond has been a repeat offender of this. So there is a possibility that he would have. I don't think they would have at that point, because I do think the inciting of the crowd had a little bit to do with it. And I think it was just the culmination of it all. And definitely, I don't think it helped his case at all that he brought up the crowd and, stood up on the chair and, potentially grabbed his stanchion, as you called it. And, went
and
to
that's not confirmed. I heard that happen. I didn't see it.
Went to the low post.
Yeah.
It's interesting to think that way, but I think, now I'm starting to change. I do actually think he might have, because the league said it is because he's done it so many times before. He's a habitual line stepper, as Charlie Murphy would say. He has done this before. He routinely we all know what the line is, especially as someone who gets in as many situations as Draymond does. He knows what's okay and what isn't okay. He stepped over the line, no pun intended. And
it's not all he stepped over.
He deserved to be punished. I think. I do think just the stomp itself, and for the reasons that the league released, I think it fits just the action itself, and not, like I said, I don't think the theatrics after helped him at all, but I don't think that was the nail in the coffin.
Here's Woj today on Get Up with the Warriors' reaction to all this.
One word, livid. And they were certainly didn't agree with the one-game suspension. I think they were surprised at it. No question about that. They certainly went through this in the finals with Cleveland losing Draymond Green for a game in 2016, but they're going to have to live with it. Appeals don't really, there's really nowhere to go with an appeal in these situations.
The Warriors have had this, I don't want to say deal with the devil, because Draymond Green's not the devil, but you get where I'm going. Draymond Green has given them an edge that they haven't had, and he's done a lot of the dirty work defensively, rebounding. He has been a great defender. He's still a very good defender, and they've needed that.
Yes.
Even though they have, their culture typically doesn't represent some of the things that Draymond does. So they've had to figure out how to work that in and how to accept that, how to tolerate that.
Yeah.
And now, it's like, okay, well, there's a bill to be paid for that, and it is now coming due for not only this year, but for your whole run, which may be ending before our very eyes.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see just how I'm really surprised. It feels like the Warrior fans in general are taking this and using Draymond as their martyr, as their, I can't believe that they're doing this to us. Are you surprised at how little accountability it seems like Warrior fans are holding Draymond to? I mean, this is just from a basketball situation, if like you're ruining your team's chances here, and this is not the first time in a really important situation you've let your emotions get the best of you and really affect what could happen to this team.
Fans going to fan for one thing, but for another, I think there's been a split in the Warrior fan base on Draymond for a long time.
No, we went through that here in Sacramento. With DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Certainly there are a lot of fans, and we're talking about how Warrior fans feel. And of course, it's like any group of people, they don't all feel the same way. So there are some that feel victimized here, and there's a pretty large portion of Warrior fans who feel like, man, something like this was coming. Why have they put up with him and everything they put up with him to this point?
Right.
A lot of people are still can't believe that he got away or that the Warriors decided to keep him after the punch.
Yeah, right.
Which was also this season. And like we mentioned the other day, it's kind of a perfect full circle moment here potentially for Golden State, where Draymond kind of throws the season off the rails a little at the start of the year. And then,
that carried over for, like you said, there's still some carryover to this day in terms of talking points. People still bring it up as a potential point of contention for this team.
That was one of the weirdest things, by the way, wasn't it? Was Draymond was like, yeah, and yet Jordan Poole like,
next to him.
Weird grin on his face.
That has to be one of the weirdest relationships, maybe besides Kyle Anderson and Rudy Gobert, that we have in this league, right? Where it's just like it's every single day. Everybody knows too. That's the weirdest part, and everyone knows that there was a rift. Everyone knows that they've struggled all season long.
As you said earlier, you see some of the players like Moody, and the look on their faces like, I don't really want to be here right now. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
That still frame of Moses Moody, Moody Mo, Modi Moo looking at Draymond Green is absolutely priceless. For anyone who hasn't seen it, you have to go look at that picture of Moses Moody in the huddle, just looking at Draymond as Draymond's standing on the chairs, yelling at the Golden One Center crowd. Moses is just like, oh boy, we're really doing this.
As you were talking about Poole's reaction there, it might be him thinking like, oh, he's gone. I don't have to deal with this anymore.
Yeah, finally. I've been waiting a long time for this.
I didn't think about that, but that is actually.
But as Saint said, it's not a break unless you're able to take advantage of it.
That's so true.
Coming up in 90 seconds, we're right back with more on the Draymond suspension. Why did it really happen? What does it mean for the Kings? Is this thing over? Is this a Kings sweep? And for the first time in decades, everybody knows who the Kings are. It's next. Chris and Company, White and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings have taken a commanding 2-0 lead over the Golden State Warriors.
They end up winning it by 8.
Can the best road team in the West go into Chase Center Thursday night and get a win in Game 3 over the defending champs? Our coverage begins with Cattles and Rami live from the Golden One Center at 2 p.m. with tip-off at 7 from San Francisco. On your home for the Kings, Sactown Sports.
Great team. Where's the defense? Defense! Okay, everyone take a break. Greetings, Sacramento. Doug Christie here for the Good Feet store, asking, when is something too good to be true? When it probably is. And had I not experienced it for myself, this spectacular season would definitely qualify as too good to be true. So everyone out there in radio land, continue to enjoy. Something else that could seem too good to be true is Good Feet Art Supports. But trust me, I've experienced firsthand the comfort, balance, and support possible with Good Feet Art Supports. And so have countless others who have pretty much given up hope. It's time you felt good again. Take your feet to the Good Feet store for free personalized art support, fitting, and test walk. Experience for yourself the comfort, balance, and support missing in your life. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now Vacaville, online at goodfeet.com.
Sitting at your desk, watch Chris and Company now. YouTube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Yeah, you can stand by me, but just please, we're on the same team. Don't punch me. It's Chris and Company, Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports. Can we just start Game 3 already?
Please. This has been if this ends up going 5 and we have to wait that Sunday through Wednesday too, I need it. I got used to that Saturday, Monday turnaround. This has felt like a whole week in between these two games. I'm right there with you. I just need it to be tomorrow already.
A lot of people, not only around here, of course, maybe you went to the game, a lot of people around the country watching the first two games of the series. And all of a sudden the Kings are back on the national basketball map.
Yeah, definitely. I think that, and the crowd has had a huge part of that, but I've never seen this many people talking about the Sacramento Kings before in my life.
Mm-hmm. We'll get to that first. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. JR's been hanging on. JR, you're on with Whitey and Watkins. What's up today?
Hey, turn on the sprinkler system. Doobie's on fire. I used to love when that kid would say that.
Yeah.
So this Christopher Walken guy, by the way, Chris, have you played the only prescription is more cowbell? Because
that would be great.
Your name leans right into that, brother.
That's right. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I see what you. Hey, look at that!
Hey,
you even got it.
I got it.
Yeah, you got. We're gonna all be wearing gold. We're all going to be wearing golden diapers. Oh, my God. Hey, so I got to agree with you on the Curry take.
Ooh.
There was one time, honest to God, there was 3 commercials in a row with Curry.
Right.
There was obviously the Subway. There was like Safe Light Repair, and then there was some feminine product. I think it was Tampax or whatever. He was on all 3.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, done with this kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The triple.
You know who I like? I've always liked the brother anyway. He had a good game the other night.
Oh, you're a Seth fan. You're a Seth fan.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Remember, wasn't he on the Kings?
Yeah, he
one day?
was. Yeah, he was.
Yes, he was.
One
There
season.
you go.
Yeah.
That's the guy we need back.
We need
Imagine him and his brother going at it, and he gets the friggin' upper leg on Steph, and he says, listen to this.
Yeah.
Sacramento's better than you.
Thank you,
I got
Chair.
good tickets for Sunday. Good
Nice.
tickets. I'm right behind the bench.
All
Oh,
right.
I love it.
Nice. Thank you. That's I was going to say, that's a weird family. Well, I don't know if it's weird. It's just interesting that you got
The
Steph,
connections, right?
and then you got one of his sisters is married to Damian Lee.
Yep.
And then Steph's brother, Seth, is married to Doc
Callie
Rivers'
Rivers,
daughter.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. And that is basketball royalty right there. How the
Right.
Rivers Curry crossover is, no pun intended, is incredible. Like that family tree is I can't. I'm jealous of my kids who are going to be able to see the Curry River legacy live on in basketball.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. David joins us on Chris and Company. Hey, David, how are you? David's no longer there.
Must have been in Carmichael.
Yeah. Yep, I think you're right.
I like JR's point though of well, it made me think he didn't really make a point, but but if we could get Kings fans to wear the Seth Curry jersey, I think that's some nice mental warfare. You know, nice Kings Curry's jerseys all throughout the.
All right, let's go there now. What is your issue?
Yes,
it's fine. It just he is very popular. That's why he's on 3 commercials in a row. He's a beloved basketball icon.
Sure.
Even someone on the YouTube chat, we were talking about it a moment ago, said, I love Steph Curry. I love watching him shoot. Yeah. So what's your issue with Steph?
JR touched on it a little bit there too in his call. Commercials, it's a lot. It's part of popularity. I understand it's overexposure for
Curry
me.
fatigue.
Curry fatigue for sure. To me, we're doing this. Okay. The thing about Steph that
we're doing this for you.
I know this is going to be therapeutic. I've never, I usually talk about this in private, and it's totally fine. I have no problem with this being public. It's too much to me. I'm not a fan of I called it antics. I think when Steph hits big shots, let's say whatever game 2, Steph Curry hits even if Steph Curry would hit that game-winning 3, let's not even say game winners, just any 3.
A lot of times he'll do like
a lot of the celebrations,
3. Yeah.
a lot of taunting right in people's faces. It's just if any other player in the NBA does it, I just think that we're like when Russell Westbrook. I use Russell Westbrook probably on the complete opposite scale of the likability in terms of approval ratings. I definitely think Russ probably has one of the lower ones, and Steph is definitely one of the higher ones. But Russ rocks the baby after every time, no matter if it's justified or not. He'll rock the baby. People hate it. It's super annoying. I find it annoying. I'm like, bro, like De'Aaron Fox has 30 points on you right now, and you have 10. Why are you rocking the baby? Steph will literally dance at half court. He'll crip walk at half court on the opponent's floor. And it's just, everybody's like, oh, that's so cute. Oh, that's so viral. No, that's so troll. And it's so disrespectful to the other team. I don't know. It's definitely just a hater thing for sure. I'm in Sacramento. Steph's in Golden State. I've talked a lot about how I'm not a fan of, with the Warriors dynasty matching up perfectly with the Kings drought, and how many Warrior fans are now, or Kings fans are now Warrior fans, and potential Kings fans turn to Warrior fans. It all goes into each other, but I don't fall into the everything Steph does is so cute, so viral, so, oh my God, this is the best person who's ever existed in the NBA ever, and he can do no wrong. Like his, I don't want to get into the family part, but like his wife tweeting out after the game, like, oh, this is the biggest thing, the NBA is rigged, and I can't believe I wouldn't believe it if I didn't see it with my own eyes. It's too much. It's overexposure for me. Aisha.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the overexposing of it.
One thing I do like about Steph is for a long time, I don't know if he still does, but he used to go to Vallejo to get his hair cut. So that's like being a Vallejo.
I already don't like it.
What? Yeah. So I like that. But the way this started, by the way, was yesterday. Chris came up with a list, and it was somebody on the YouTube chat asked him for a list of the players that you love on your team and hate on another team. And he made a list, and Chris put Steph Curry on there.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't I didn't know how to react to that. And we actually heard from, Brian,
real ones like me.
Hey, you should have asked him about that. And I was like, I didn't know what to say.
You were
like,
what? You're like, wait, you don't like Santa Claus? And that's my problem is that he has been Disney-fied. He has been Nickelodeon. He's just too.
He's so cute.
Exactly. He's too cute. And I'm like, no, this guy is actually like an a-hole. Like he's dancing on people as they're experiencing one of the worst moments of their sports life. And my other problem was too, now I'm energized. Now you got me. I also see in the comments here, shout out Andrew Baxter, mouth guard, got to be on the list.
Yeah, I was just
the mouth guard thing.
Myself,
that's universal. Like my girlfriend, she hates that. She's like, why are you doing that? Like, that's so gross. Nothing about it is like therapeutic. I don't get the mouth guard thing. It's weird. It's gross to me. Not a fan.
Isn't he entitled though, Chris? He's the goose. He's the greatest of outside shooters ever.
Sure. But my problem is, especially this also stems from me being a LeBron James supporter throughout my life.
Oh.
LeBron gets huge flack for anything he does. He's a dad. He's corny. He makes all these jokes. Anything he does on the court is theatrics and all this stuff. Steph complains just as much as anybody else. But again, it's just like this Disney character that is Steph Curry. It's just not for me. I just can't do it. He can do no wrong in everyone's eyes. And I view him as, especially when you're on a historically ridiculous team, more so during the Kevin Durant years, this is what you should be doing, dude. Like, why are you dancing on us when you have the best team head and shoulders above everyone else? Like, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of
I know why you don't
world
like him.
beaters dancing in your face as they bury you.
I know why you don't like Steph Curry, and
Please.
I totally understand it as you're talking, and I get it. Because you shared with us last week, maybe you shared that with people a long time ago. Your all-time favorite player,
yes,
was
My
Chris
first
Duncan. Your first favorite player,
yes,
was Tim Duncan.
Tim
Duncan. And I, in the past, have thought there were a lot of similarities between the two of them because they were both,
for sure,
Steph and Tim Duncan. They were all about team first.
Yeah.
And they were kind of quiet.
Franchise pillars.
Yeah, and they weren't the type to be overly demonstrative. Tim was always that way. And Steph, he ain't like that anymore.
No.
So I could see how,
he's
from
not
your
that cute
standpoint,
guy.
like, yeah, this is how you do it. Steph, that's not how we do it. Who do you think you are? So he's gone from being one of those guys that was team first, respect the opponent. And now he's not really like that.
No, not at all. He's very, very quick to dance in your
That's not
face.
the Watkins way.
He's very quick to, like you said, throw the 1-2 threes. Sometimes he'll throw like the 3-point fire flames out of his wrist. It's all of it. I'm so out. It bothers me. It doesn't bother me. It just annoys the hell out of me. And every time I see it, it just makes me cringe, and it really gets my blood boiling. It just really, really does. And
is it because he didn't used to do it?
No, not even that. It's more just, I think it's more the persona of this is such a nice guy, such a sweet guy, and he's the one who is dancing on the floor, and again, just like essentially celebrating your funeral.
He has to do that for his credibility, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe he thought
he's just entitled.
Maybe he felt like, maybe he felt like he was too Disney. Maybe he felt like he was too Nickelodeon, and so this is his way of being like, I'm actually a bad man who talks that talk and walks that walk.
Chris has sold me. I hate Curry now too.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you. I'm actually surprised that you didn't dislike him before.
I just never had a problem with him.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad.
But once you put it all, once you line it all up in front of me, you put the evidence. You know what? Yeah,
he's pretty annoying.
But you're pro LeBron. LeBron's your guy.
See, okay, I'm not. But here's the thing. I'm not saying I excuse all of LeBron's antics. LeBron is a child. He flops all the time. He is sometimes pretty soft.
When they beat the Warriors in 2016, and then doing the barbershop, and LeBron says, "When we came down from 3-1 to beat the Warriors, that
to
me, I was the greatest of all time."
That was crazy. That was crazy, but that's also hilarious. Like part of being a Bron stan is also laughing at him for those LeBron moments. You love LeBron for being LeBron. Steph, to me, is like he's trying to be this nice Disney guy, but at the same time, he also wants to be the super disrespectful, I'm cool guy on the floor kind of thing. And I'm like, you got to pick one, my guy. I'm sorry. You got to pick one.
You're not allowed to switch because I think what he's done.
If he was just a supremely nice guy and everything was super respect, if he was Tim Duncan on the floor, I would have no problems with him. But it's, again, just the fact that he tries to paint himself. I'm not even saying he paints himself. He has been painted as this super nice, super sweet guy. And he's just a showboat. He really is just a showboat. And as someone who, again, I play a lot of rec sports, if I'm going against a team that's number one in the standings, and then when we play them, they destroy us and they're dancing, they're celebrating, I'm going to be like, you guys do this literally every single week. Like, this shouldn't be new to you. This shouldn't even be fun. This
Act like you've been there before.
Act like you've been there before. I'm sorry. I hate to sound like the old man on this
really
program,
old school,
but
yeah.
Just act like you've been there before. Wardell.
Up next, no cowbells allowed to chase. There's an easy workaround for that, I think. And it's next. Chris and Company, Whiting Watkins, Sactown Sports, SactownSports.com.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Nature Wood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg at the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Wednesday forecast into the afternoon, mainly sunny skies expected. Temperatures a little warmer today with highs in the mid-60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
A nice warm shower is not so nice if it doesn't drain like it should. Well, let's fix that right now. Get a sewer inspection, including mainline drain cabling and video analysis, just $97. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air, Bonnie.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Carmichael Dave here, welcoming back my dear friends at Fire Wings. 21 different flavors. I had 4 of those 21 Saturday for the game, watching with the family. As always, breaded Malaysian curry. Yeah, you better bet I got that curry. Knocked it out of the park, too. Go to firewings.com to make your order. That's what we did. We ordered 2 hours in advance, picked it up. There's nothing better for the game than Fire Wings. Check out the locations nearest you. Fire Wings, just wing it.
We all know the pain of being stuck in the past. But with Roseville Electric, you can get current with clean, reliable electric solutions for your home or business. For more info, visit getcurrentroseville.com today.
It's a myth to think you don't play golf well enough to get fitted for golf clubs. The professionals at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio would argue that playing the game with golf clubs properly fitted to your body and swing characteristics is the best way to improve your game and have more fun on the golf course. With a professional staff of fitters, all the major brands of equipment, and cutting-edge technology featuring TrackMan, the indoor-outdoor Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio is worth a look. See for yourself, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway. Schedule your fitting at 916-808-2531, 808-2531.
The clock is ticking. Get off the bench and head down to Fasteners Tool Outlet, where you'll find the lowest prices on DeWalt power tools and much more. Why pay more at a big box store? Get a triple-double at Fasteners Tool Outlet with weekly and monthly specials, including up to 50% off select hand tools, accessories, power tools, and fasteners. Whether you're looking for a DeWalt bag, a DeWalt impact driver, or the newest DeWalt tools at the lowest prices, Fasteners Tool Outlet has the tools you need to do the job. Make a slam dunk with Fasteners Tool Outlet, 6701 Power Inn Road, or on the web at fastenersinc.net.
What would it take for a plumbing company to earn your trust? Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And let's face it, plumbing and service companies don't always have the best reputation.
So to earn your trust, the first thing they'd have to do is actually answer the phone when you call with a real live person. Then they'd have to send a plumber when you needed them, day or night, without charging extra for emergency services.
A trustworthy plumber would show up on time, wearing a clean uniform and name badge, and be able to show that they had passed a background check and drug test.
A plumber you could trust would give you a firm quote on the job before starting and clean up after they finish the job.
That's exactly the plumber you'll get when you call Bell Brothers, a plumber you can trust. Call Bell Brothers right now for all your plumbing needs. Our number is 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Hey, Scott, I haven't seen you in over a year, and you look great.
Good to see you, too. Yeah, I'm feeling good and have a new job.
No, there's something different about the way you look.
To be honest, a few months ago, I had an amazing robotic hair transplant procedure with Dr. Singh at Excel Medicine. It's called the artist procedure.
No way. Your hair looks completely natural, and you don't even have a scar. How did they do that?
Dude, the artist system is amazing. I have this fantastic hairline, and I'm happy with my results. He could probably help you, too, buddy.
Using the artist procedure, Dr. Singh can target and harvest healthy hair follicles with micron-level accuracy from the back of your head and transplant them where you need it. The procedure is painless, and you'll be back doing your regular activities in a couple of days. Ask Dr. Singh at Excel Medicine about the artist procedure. Call today, 916-932-4470. That's 932-4470 for a complimentary in-person or Zoom consultation, or on the web at excelmedicine.com. That's EXCEL medicine.com. See what the artist procedure can do for you.
These are actors and not real patients. New flooring instantly updates a room. RC Willey has an incredible selection of carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate. Their experts will help you find the perfect floor for your home and schedule a free in-home measure. Shop RC Willey in Elk Grove or Rockland today.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Ladd with your Sactown Sports headlines. The NBA announced yesterday that Warriors forward Draymond Green has been suspended for Game 3 against the Sacramento Kings for stepping on Domantas Sabonis. The league said the suspension was based in part on Green's history of unsportsmanlike acts. Last night, the Sacramento Kings announced that center Domantas Sabonis suffered a sternum contusion in Monday's game and will be questionable for the game against the Warriors on Thursday. Game 3 of the Kings and Warriors is tomorrow night, and Sactown Sports will have you covered. It will start with Cattles and Rami live from Doco at 2, followed by Game Night with Scott Marsh and high flyer Henry Turner at 5:30, and tip-off of the game at 7. You can listen to it all right here on Sactown Sports. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to Chris and company with Whitey and Watkins.
Chris Watkins, you've touched a nerve, I have to say, going off on Steph Curry. And not a lot of people are doing that, and it's really resonating with a lot of, at least fans here in the Sacramento area.
I'm glad, because I'm going to let you I felt crazy. I have felt like a crazy person my entire time here. I felt alone. I have felt like I'm the only person who feels these feelings. And I'm wondering, maybe I am just a hater, but I'm glad to hear. And yeah, I'm glad to see that there's a good amount of people who share similar sentiments. And, it's, not everybody loves Stephen Curry. He's got a cute face, and he makes
Pretty
a lot
good
of
shooter,
threes.
I'd say.
Yeah, it's all fun and games.
One of the 10
He
greatest players of
changed
all
the
time.
game of basketball. I
He did kind of change the way the
I
game
was
is
gonna
played.
say, I also do need to acknowledge that, like, as just a massive basketball fan, I completely respect and acknowledge all that Steph Curry has done and brought to the game.
Do you know why he was so beloved, and he's still
But he ruined
beloved?
it.
But the reason why people just loved him initially, especially, and now he's widely beloved, everybody but you. But it's because
The
of the
baby face.
shooting. You sit there, you watch basketball, and you see the greatest athletes in the world literally fly through the air and throw it down, and you think, man, that would be great. It's incredible to watch. I'll never know. Most of us, some people can do that. You see it
Right.
on TV, but you see Steph, and you think, jump shot. I could do that at my driveway.
Right.
It's more relatable.
Absolutely.
Of course, it's still way harder than you think. You can never do what he does, but it's more relatable to see a guy making a smaller guy who isn't small, but by NBA standards, he's small, and he's making shots. And for most of us, it's like, wow, that's kind of,
yes.
I see what he's doing.
Whitey, it turns out representation is very important in this world. Just being able to see somebody that looks like you, and you're like, hey, I can do that. That can be me.
I made a shot on the other side of my garbage cans in my driveway yesterday.
Right. I completely agree. And I think that's also as I said, the Disneyfication of Steph Curry. I think it's because the kids, that's exactly the viewpoint that every kid who watches Steph Curry has is, oh, I can go out in the dry. I can't dunk. I'm 8 years old and I'm 5 foot nothing, but I can go out there and I can say Steph or whatever Curry and, just shoot him. Like you're saying, shoot in your driveway for 2 hours and just say swish. Yeah. Oh, Curry. Oh, and there's also the highlights and part of that is the crossing over of people because he does have a good handle too. He creates really good highlights and it's the whole package. You get the highlights, you get the fun, you get the baby face, and you get the threes as well. And chicks dig the long ball.
So, the one thing that gets overlooked in his game, the flaw is just the turnovers, and he's always been that way, and it's gotten even worse.
Yeah.
And he gets carried away with it, and the left-handed, one-handed flings. It's like, whoa.
Why do you'd be surprised to learn that? That's also part of what I don't like about Stephen Curry is the turnovers and maybe if you just tightened it up and you didn't feel the need to go behind your back and be so flashy all the time and just, be a little bit more like Timothy Duncan and just make the solid bounce pass,
Yeah.
Maybe your team would be even better if you just tightened it up a little, buddy, and stop trying to be so flashy for the sake of making ESPN, just win the game, Stephen. It's about the game.
Yeah, he's definitely, but won all these titles.
Losing
plays. Right now, he's paying a price for that.
No, he is absolutely, and that was in all seriousness, that was my concern with the turnovers. Was man, like all this shooting and stuff is fun until you start to miss shots, and all the flashy plays are fun until the turnovers really start costing you. And this Warrior team has been so incredible that neither of those two things have came to fruition. But now that we're seeing this team a little bit longer in the tooth, a little bit older, a little half step slower. Those are the things that start to stack up, is Steph Curry going 3 for 13. He's taken 2 30-foot shots that both haven't really even been close. Those are the kind of things where it's like, okay, it's cool that you can do that. And it's cool you've done that in the past, but it's also cooler if you just like stand at the actual 3-point line and just make that shot since it's so easy for you, I don't know. It's again, I'm a hater.
Steve Kerr gives them a lot of freedom and it's worked, but sometimes
it's a blessing and a curse.
They take advantage of the freedom and it doesn't work out for anybody.
The wonderful Uncle Ben.
More and more often.
Uncle Ben once said, with great power comes great responsibility. And Steve Kerr gives them a lot of power, and there's a lot of responsibility for them to take care of the ball. And like you're saying, right now they're just completely abusing the freedom that it seems like Steve Kerr gives them.
Wait a minute, that's from a movie. You've seen that movie?
Well, that's Spider-Man, and so the only movies that I have seen are the superhero movies, which probably makes every true cinema fan absolutely sick. Sorry, Martin Scorsese, and I know it probably makes Verlad sick too. Verlad, you haven't seen any of the superhero movies, are you?
Of course I have.
You have? Okay, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if that was like not beneath you, but I know you like. Actually, you watch really garbage movies.
I love good movies. I love bad movies. I love everything in between.
You like bad movies definitely more than you like good movies.
No, I appreciate bad movies.
Yes. Chris has like a real appreciation for like really bad movies.
No cowbells allowed to chase, right?
None.
We talked earlier today. I didn't mean to change the subject. I could have gone all day about multiverse. And I thought, let's just go talk back about the series.
Let's talk about these cowbells.
I was going to ask you about the multiverse, into the multiverse, which is like, wasn't that great? But no, let's talk about
it. Wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't?
I don't know. I didn't see it. I haven't seen the new Marvels.
I think you just said, that's the ones I see. The old one. Okay. All right. That's fine. Glad I didn't go
Let's just stick to sports. How about that?
Well, we'll do that a little. Anthony Slater today joined us. He was surprised, like everybody, that there weren't more Warrior fans in Sacramento for the first 2 games. How many fans will there be of the Sacramento Kings, in the next 2 games? It looks like there's probably going to be more. Would you agree? Signs seem to suggest and indicate there are going to be more Kings fans in San Francisco than we had Warrior fans here.
I mean, I know personally a good handful of people who told me, I can't afford to go to the Golden One Center games. I'll just go to the Warrior games. Like I personally know more people. I would say I know the same amount of people in general in my life who went to game 1 and 2 that also plan to go to 2, 3, and 4. Not the same grouping of people, but just, I have 5 people here who are going here. And then I have 5 people who say that they're just going to go over here. So I imagine if I know 5 people, I'm sure there's tons of people who are planning to make that trip, especially with, again, I think I've said it before, but that game 4 falling on a Sunday, to me, that's a perfect excuse to spend a nice little weekend in the Bay Area, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I suspect that we'll probably see, if I had to guess, like 30 Kings fans, 30%, 30 Kings fans, 30% Kings fans, if I had to guess. But I definitely think it'll be a good dent. And, you know, if anything, I think the Warriors will be surprised.
No noise-making devices allowed inside Chase.
That
That's
is
not
true.
a new rule.
No,
it's
it's
not
not.
like they've just implemented that. But can't you find a cowbell sound on your phone? And I know there's a Kings. The Kings have one.
The Kings app. Let me see if I can pull this
and
up.
if there are enough Kings fans in one area, I know that the sound on the phone doesn't resonate the same as an actual cowbell. But isn't that a possible option here?
Wouldn't that be like a great like a very 2022 or whatever year it is, 23 picture
2023,
of instead of, there's the side by side of old Kings fan yelling the cowbell in Phil Jackson's ear right behind the bench, and then cut to 2023. There's just a fan with a phone, like with a cowbell on it, just shaking.
You know the real beauty of that?
What is
the last time the Kings were in the playoffs, the iPhones didn't exist.
Oh my God, why? That's just a sad true fact. Smartphones. I think I looked that up actually. That's actually a fact. I missed that cut. Yeah, we need to bring that cut back. I think I looked that up when the Kings clinched the division, like the facts about 2006. And I don't think the iPhone was even invented until like 2007, 2008.
Right.
So
so here are 2023, maybe with
been a long
phone,
time.
You could just play the sound, or as you showed me earlier, if you download that app, you can shake your phone and it's like you're shaking a cowbell.
It'll be like I don't know if you saw the picture of when LeBron hit that the shot to break Kareem's record. There's just a ton of people holding their phones up, and it was just like a very holy crap. Look at Jordan hitting the shot over Russell. Brian Russell.
Everyone says Byron, but it's Brian.
Brian Russell.
Yeah.
And it's just a bunch of people living in the moment, absorbing that exact moment in real time, and then cut to LeBron's picture of him breaking the record, and it's literally every single person in the entire arena on their phones, except for Phil Knight, who was sitting courtside.
It might work. I don't know.
It might work.
But if Kings fans are scattered, I think it's probably going to be just barely.
It's not going to be loud enough. Yeah. Especially with just how loud the acoustics in the arena are. It probably won't work out, but we got to figure out something. Maybe you can like hit your chair or something. We got to figure out something.
So you've given up on the mooing. I'm glad. Last time this came up, you said everyone can moo, I wasn't a big fan.
Yeah, the mooing and the booing would probably. It's not effective enough. It needs to be something that's like stark and like you can tell like, wow, that's annoying. It needs to be like a DR DeRozan scream or something like that. Maybe we should all just scream. Good old-fashioned vocal cords. Let's try that out.
We've got options, and we've got a little bit of time to come up with a good one. And we also have Chris Verlaud's story time. Chris Verlaud's story time is next on Chris and Company. White & Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Are you ready to hear this on Sactown Sports?
Handoff McCaffrey. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Or how about this?
Feel super, baby! The five-time Super Bowl champions, and they're looking for number 6.
Catch every Niners game during the 2023 season
On your home for the 49ers.
Sactown Sports.
There's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. And at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, we are proud to provide our best selection to get you there. Buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own loan report.
Have you made a mistake in your past that you want removed from your record? At the Gonzalez Law Office, we know that good people make mistakes. Restore your rights. Clear your record. Call us at 916-304-9187. That's 916-304-9187 or at saclegaldefense.com. Do you have a pending criminal case or injured in an accident? At the Gonzalez Law Office, we handle all criminal and injury cases. We don't settle for less, and neither should you. Call the Gonzalez Law Office at 916-304 404-9187 or visit us at saclegaldefense.com.
Guys, fellas, men, are you Roman ready for the weekend? Right now, generic Viagra, aka sildenafil, is just $4 per dose at Roman. Just complete a free online visit with a U.S. licensed healthcare professional. If medication is appropriate, Roman sends what you need in discreet packaging with 2-day shipping. Generic Viagra from $4 at Roman. Go to ro.co/Viagra. Do it today and get 20% off your entire first order. That's ro.co/Viagra.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install the new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door. What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, as always, of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. Chad, what's going on for the Jeep Celebration event?
We have huge savings for springtime on everyone's favorite Jeeps. But if you're looking to save money at the pump, then you need to take advantage of our huge savings on new 2023 Jeep plug-in hybrids. Right now, save up to $14,000 off MSRP on new 2023 Jeep Wrangler Sahara 4xEs and up to $12,000 off MSRP on new 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xEs with our lease specials.
Yeah, but are they really worth all the hype?
Absolutely. My mother-in-law just got one and she saved $15,000 and absolutely loves it. Plus, she's saving a ton of money on fuel. Now is the time to take advantage of this savings.
Well, there's no better place to get your new Jeep than Hoblet. No dealer markups and the best savings around. Stop by for a test drive today or search, select, and save through their whole inventory at hobletdodge.com. Best prices, best selection, period.
14,000 total net savings for leases only after 3,000 MyCard lease bonus cash. 7,500 hybrid electric federal tax credit rebate plus 3,500 Hoblet discount. 12,000 total net savings for lease options only after 2,000 MyCard lease bonus cash. $1,000 California bonus cash and 7,500 hybrid electric fed tax credit plus 1,500 Hoblet discount. Multiple lease terms available. 5 net savings. See dealer for details.
Jiffy Lube's Country in the Park, Northern California's biggest country music festival of the year, is back May 5th and 6th at Cal Expo, starring Lady A,
Chris Young,
Brett Eldridge,
I wanna be that song, and so many more.
plus a Boots Boot and Line Dance Saloon, interactive lounges, and Sacramento's best food trucks. Weekend passes start at just $80. Tickets are on sale now at SactownSports.com. Country in the Park, brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort, Hanley's Western Wear, and Quick Pack Car Wash.
Listen to Oakland A's baseball on the weekends all season long right here on Sactown Sports, beginning with the pregame show brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you,
Lightning and the thunder.
sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration, and the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
The Subaru service event is on at Maida Subaru Sacramento, with the largest Subaru service facility in the Sacramento area. Factory trained technicians, express service, and the all-new cafe now open inside Maida Subaru. Learn more at maidasubaru.com.
February 2023. Live and local, it's Chris and Company with Chris Watkins on Sactown Sports.
All right, I know. If Kings fans go into Chase and they've got cowbell sounds on their phones, I know it doesn't have close to the same resonance or volume as an actual cowbell. I get that. I'm hoping maybe it would be better than nothing, or maybe you suggested it, Chris. People on the YouTube chat suggesting if you can get some kind of speaker in there, but that'd be difficult.
It'd be difficult, but people find crafty ways of sneaking things places.
I think I've got it.
Yeah,
let's hear it.
Take a handful of balloons, or just one balloon. You blow it up, and then you do that thing where you let it loose a little bit with the just to rattle them a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if you can bring balloons in the arena.
You have it already. You don't have it blown up. You blow it up once you get to the stands.
Chris Verlaud, I hear what you're saying. I like it. I think that's a very annoying sound. That would really throw me off. I don't know if you can hear how you definitely would probably need a collection of them, but you could probably bring rubber through the security gates. There'd probably be nothing wrong with the deflated. If you have a deflated balloon in your pocket, even if they try and take it, be like, oh, how did that get? Oh, my daughter's birthday was the other day.
When the Warriors are shooting their free throws, just every Kings fan there, blow up their balloon.
I'm not even looking so much for a distracting sound. I on some level, I understand what you're saying.
What if I just did that for the entire segment here? It's why you're trying to do it.
It was a little distracting, yeah. And that's, by the way, that's an excellent balloon sound. I actually have to check to see if you have one.
Wow.
I'm looking for something. The cowbell is iconic. It's a way of letting fans know in another arena, we are from Sacramento. The sound, and I don't know if letting the air out of the balloon, it doesn't have the same sort of impact.
Yeah,
it would be distracting.
We'll work. We're still workshopping it. Okay, we still have 24 plus hours. All right, we're gonna figure this out. Yeah, I think we can. Our collective minds, I feel like we can think of something to
I see
be
where you go.
annoyed with.
Yeah, hey, Warrior fans, the air is out of your championship balloon, but something, I don't know. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Chris's story time is coming right up. First, Ramiz has been hanging on. Ramiz, you're on with Watkins and Whitey. What's up?
Hey, gentlemen. How you guys doing today, man?
Good. Great. What can we do for you?
So let me break this down. Why I'm not gonna say I hate Steph Curry, as I can't stand him. I came to Sacramento in '97, man. I came from a really rough neighborhood. I came to Sacramento to go to Sac State. You know what I'm saying? I changed my life with my education, and during that time, there's players that you gravitated towards, man. That's why I love LeBron James, because that dude dealt with so much adversity in his life. And when these Warriors start winning, they start winning. You got these bandwagon fan bases, fans going like them. And I have a name for Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. I call these dudes silver spoons, man, because these dudes grew up where they didn't have to struggle for anything, have no adversity. But now you're struggling against our Kings, man. And Steph Curry, his wife has a lot of nerve saying that the NBA is rigged. Man, shut the hell up, man. Are you serious? That's why, man, I can't stand Warrior fans and Niners fans, man. These fan bases are such a bandwagon fan base. When they're trash, you don't even hear about them. And then when they're good, they're huffing and puffing. Now, since my Kings are whipping that ass, man, I love it, man. That's why I can't stand Steph Curry. Like, again, silver spoon, man.
Thank you.
What a call.
Yeah?
What a call.
He kind of
Ramiz, that's my kind of guy.
Your feelings on this?
That's like my isn't there a Key and Peele skit about the Obama anger translator?
Oh yeah.
That was Ramiz right there for me. He just perfectly channeled my feelings. I can't really speak to the silver spoon aspect of it all, but that's for sure. I think that's a totally valid thing to feel, and I feel the same way. I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan, so I have I know we're the home of the 49ers, but I also agree. I think 49er fans also, as well as Warrior fans, I'm not trying to let's cast a wide net here. I think that they come out of the woodworks when the team is good, but when the team isn't good, it's real quiet, and all of a sudden, the people who were wearing their San Francisco gear a couple weeks ago are no longer talking about the team, no longer seem to care about cap situations.
Well, how do you feel about bandwagon Kings fans right now? You're like, welcome aboard?
Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Hey, all are welcome. Yeah. Well, actually, at this point, it might be too late. I think now that the Kings have a 2-0 lead, bandwagon is officially closed. You cannot hop on. I think after game 1 was probably the last time I'll accept bandwagon.
No, I think as long as you bring in your Warrior gear as you go into Golden One and lay it down as an offering to the beam, then you're allowed to come back.
Okay, but in general, a team's successful, there are going to be bandwagon fans, but you welcome them? Or?
I think so. I mean, the Sacramento, beggars can't be choosers. You got to, part of Sacramento, and when they were great, it was so good to hear about, I'm a fan out in Australia. I actually love the Kings, and it's great as a small market. We'll welcome anybody who wants to be our fan for sure.
Okay.
I'll take it.
All right. Yeah.
I don't want them filling up our arena, but which is kind of going to happen. But it's the cost of playing the game.
Chris, I apologize. We don't have enough time for story time right now, do we? Okay.
No,
I apologize for that. We will get to it. Also 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. If you got any ideas, what are we going to do about workarounds for no cowbells at Chase for game 3?
I will also throw in, change subject again.
Please.
But in the comments here, Charlie's also saying Giants fans are worse. I will agree with that because I am a bandwagon Giants fan. I don't care at all about the Giants when they're terrible.
So wait, you're saying I'm worse? I didn't follow you. Bandwagon Giants fans are worse. I'm one of them.
No. That is what Charlie says in the comments is that Giants fans are worse. I would say the Giants fans also probably do fit in that category of, yeah, like they're really, maybe it's just a common theme of when you suck, you don't talk about your team as much. But I think that it's just a San Francisco thing. Maybe all San Francisco people are all
bandwagon fans are, if you're a good team, you're going to get them.
Yeah.
Because
I think
people
that's
are like,
just the nature of the beast,
oh,
right?
you win. Okay. Well, yeah.
All of a sudden.
That sounds good.
Also,
Sign me up for that.
I will say there's nothing wrong with being a bandwagon fan. It's more just, I think, when you try and act as if carry yourself as if you've been a fan for the entire time. As long as you acknowledge.
Start talking about we need to win this game.
Yeah.
And a week ago, you didn't even know who we were.
Exactly. If you can't list historical things, or you don't know the identity of the team from the past or any of the bad times, it's, again, like just acknowledge that you are a newer fan. Nothing wrong with it. Again, nothing wrong with being a bandwagoner. Just
but know your place, know your role.
Also, yes, know your place, know your role. Absolutely.
Yeah, and if you're willing to do that, welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard. Those are the only guidelines of the I don't do rules guidelines of bandwagon.
NBA players have named the league's most overrated players, and a guy we've been talking about a lot this week. He's on the list. Tell you who next. Chris and company, White and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
It's Cattles and Rami.
There's a man, and Sabonis talking to him right now, right in front of us, Nick, who's literally dressed like a king. Yes. Like from a playing card. Like the whole garb. It's authentic. Those are fine silks that this man is wearing. Golden ropes.
They got these people ringing bells. I'm already getting a headache.
Are you going to make it through the game today?
I don't think so, man. I'm going to end up with like a migraine.
Cattles and Rami, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on Sactown Sports.
I'm Scott Trout, attorney and CEO of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. We help men deal with the life changes triggered by divorce, such as child custody and property division, among many others. But life changes also occur after divorce. These changes can make parts of your existing court order irrelevant or harder to follow. If you feel a modification to your court orders might be necessary, talk to us at Cordell & Cordell. We're a partner men can count on.
500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814. Cordell.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. Spring officially here. And with the long, cold, and rainy winter behind us, I'm sure you're counting the days until summer, but don't wait until it's hot to make sure your air conditioner is working efficiently and, most importantly, safely. Get ahead of the problem with a $49 AC tune-up from American Energy Heat and Air. There's nothing worse than your air conditioner going out when it's hot outside. Get a tune-up today and make sure you and your family are comfortable and cool in your home for the hot summer months that are right around the corner. Give them a call, 916-520-9990, or schedule your appointment online at AmericanEnergyAir.com. Better Business Bureau, A+ rating. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. Easy, convenient payment options, same as cash, low monthly payments through financing partners. What do you need? 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
For a business to thrive, there needs to be a constant stream of new customers. This happens through strong lead generation. Did you know that lead generation is one of the most important tools of any marketing campaign? Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products and services to them. To get started today, contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results today.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-280-2288. That's 800-280-2288. 800-280-2288.
Imagine getting ahead of your irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C by treating it with Linzess. Then you could start proactively managing your constipation with belly pain and get ahead of your symptoms. Talk to your doctor about Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop garage sale of nearly new showroom clubs is on right now. With discounts up to 75%, you'll find full sets of irons, metalwoods, wedges, and more at the Hagen Oaks garage sale featuring $500,000 in Cleveland, Strixon, and Zexio closeout inventory. This kind of opportunity is rare and available right now. Visit the Hagen Oaks garage sale and find discounts up to 75% on selected clubs at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at HagenOaks.com.
There's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. And at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, we are proud to provide our best selection to get you there. Buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own report.
Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. It's normal. With CalHope's free and secure mental health resources, it's easy to get the help you and your loved ones need when you need it the most. Call our warm line at 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org today.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Lott with your Sactown Sports headlines. The NBA announced yesterday that Warriors forward Draymond Green has been suspended for Game 3 against the Sacramento Kings for stepping on Domantas Sabonis. The league said the suspension was based in part on Green's history of unsportsmanlike acts. Last night, the Sacramento Kings announced that center Domantas Sabonis suffered a sternum contusion in Monday's game and will be questionable for Game 3 against the Warriors. Speaking of Game 3, we have you covered here on Sactown Sports. It all starts tomorrow with Cattles and Rami live from Doco at 2. That will be followed by Game Night with Scott Marsh and the High Flyer Henry Turner at 5:30 and tip-off for the game at 7. You can listen to it all right here on Sactown Sports. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to Chris and company with Whitey and Watkins.
We got a lot to get done here before we're done for the day. I'm Whitey, he's Watkins. You got to look at the most overrated players in the NBA according to NBA players, and a very, very familiar name, or a name we've been talking about a lot that's on that list. No, he's not. Let me double check. No, he didn't make the list.
He's not the most overrated.
He's not on the list. We're talking about bandwagon fans, and someone on the YouTube chat says at least dust off your gear before you rock it.
Yeah.
And that's a whole different category,
It
right?
is, yeah.
That's like a fan of a team, and then you're not a fan. Then you want to be a fan again.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not really a bandwagon fan. I don't know. We need a new term for that.
Yeah, well, it's almost it. I mean, it's super. Like, what if you went from, let's say, a Kings fan in the early 2000s, and then you hopped over to being a Warrior fan, and now that the Kings are good again, you're back to being a Kings fan. That's almost like you're not wanted by anybody at that point, right? Like, you have the dirty taint of being a Warrior fan. I don't know if we want that. Like, now, I guess now that you're forced to make a decision, at least you made the decision to come to the light side. But
that would be like a double bandwagon fan. I think we talked to somebody like that a few days ago.
I think we did, right? Yeah. Somebody said, that's right. He said that the first game he had watched in a long time was Game 1. I think I'm okay with that.
You know what they are? They're split hats.
Ooh.
It's the A's giant split hat.
Right.
Not
person.
Exactly. I do not care for split hats.
Those are terrible.
Yeah, because split hat would be I love both teams all the time. That's a split hat.
Yeah. Okay,
You know
I
what
got
I
you.
mean?
Yeah.
Where do people do they sell those? Do people have
They
to
used to make them for-
customly make them?
First time I saw one was the Bay Bridge series, 1980 something, the Giants and the A's.
And they
Like, oh, look at this.
See, at
we
least-
have two teams, one in each league. Great.
At least that's like an event, though. You know, at least that's kind of like getting a concert T-shirt where it's like, like this series now. It's like to commemorate the moment when these two teams faced off against each other. I can live with that, but yeah, the people who legitimately are like, no, I'm just as big of a Laker fan as I am a Warrior fan. I don't know if those people out there exist, but it's like I just pick one. Just don't.
The big question.
Don't
You're
split
right.
it.
The big question is in this series, who are you rooting for? And I'm pulling for both teams. That is
Right,
not an
you.
answer.
Right.
That
How about
is
you?
Not an answer.
Yeah.
right? 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Rich has been hanging on. Rich, you're on with Watkins and Whitey. What's up?
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Really good to hear both of you working together. You're doing a great job. Good
Appreciate
to see you back on the air, too, Whitey.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've been around. Yeah, I'm the furthest thing from Bandwagon fan that you can imagine.
Love
okay?
it.
I got all the artifacts to prove it. That that'd take a long time to list them all. But anyway, first off, I did want to thank you too, also for talking about the app. I've had the app for a long time on my phone. Never knew I could just turn on my cowbell.
Yes.
Oh, great.
Yes, I'm glad I can.
Yeah,
It should
just
be
found that
right
out
in the
today.
top. Yeah, right where it says right under the game. You just scroll over and it says launch cowbell.
Activate cowbell. Activate cowbell. Yeah, my wife was really happy to see that too. By the way,
You can do it in your house. Yeah, right.
No, I know. No. But just last week, my brother. I live in San Diego. Okay, and just last week, I got a package in the mail that was heavy, and I never get packages. My wife gets deliveries every day. She brought it in, and it's got your name on it. I open it up. It's a cowbell. My brother-in-law from Placerville sent me, and she goes, "Oh, that was really nice of him." and it immediately went outside on the bar outside. It hasn't been inside since.
Yeah, I can't imagine things left in the house.
Yeah, but I want to. I was watching First Take. In fact, I just turned on NBA. Right now, the NBA Today, and they were interviewing Joe Dumar and stuff, and I'm saying that, he was talking about that, the reasoning behind that. I've got it on mute now because you guys came on, but I did listen to the, Stephen A. and the other two guys on First Take this morning, right? And all three of them guys, said, "Oh, he never should have been suspended," And I just don't understand it because, and my big question and what I really think about a lot, because I've been watching the NBA for years and years. Okay. And the thing is when I have my kids watching, now my grandkids, I've got 10 grandkids. Okay. And they're watching these guys and they're professionals. Are they not somewhat supposed to be role models to us or to our kids? Do we not want to be role models for our kids?
Sure.
And our
Sure.
grandkids?
It's not their only job.
If they're watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And when they see this kind of activity, even live at the games, like people that have their kids at the game the other night, and he's standing up on the thing and holding his junk and yelling profanity out to. I mean, come on, what kind of role model is that?
It's not a good one.
Yeah. Thank you, Rich. Appreciate that.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for calling. And we're going to have to check and see what Joe Dumar's had to say.
Yeah, definitely. We
but
just
thank
saw
you.
him on. Yeah, I'm curious if he had any further insight.
Adding perhaps a little background to the situation
Yeah.
with Draymond Green. Not available. Now, for Game 3, can he still podcast?
Oh, absolutely.
Not Rich. I mean, Draymond Green.
Draymond, absolutely. I would be expecting he could do some real numbers with This is, suspension's not great for his on the floor job, but off the floor, it's great for the podcast. I mean, I can't wait for the next episode to drop. He should do like a live podcast during Game 3. I would tune in.
He can't be there.
A little Manning cast.
Arena. And I don't think, the NBA is not going to want him on an NBA partner broadcast.
He will not be on TNT that night. No.
But the podcast, if you're the words like, no, don't.
Yeah,
right?
Don't. I would have stopped Sabonis there. Yeah, I would have stopped that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Every time, during the live. Yeah, see, I would. They need me right now. I would have stopped. I would have completely shut that down. Draymond for sure would be that guy, Captain Hindsight, being like, if I'm on the floor, there's no way this happens.
Draymond, by the way, he is on the list here. We'll get back to the phones in a moment. Most overrated, according to NBA players. This is an athletic poll. They only had 54 players vote on this. Most overrated player in the NBA. Number one answer, Trae Young.
Wow.
14.8% of the vote. Julius Randle, 7.4.
Okay.
Tied with Siakam.
Oh.
Jimmy Butler, Rudy Gobert, Jaren Jackson Jr. next.
Whoa.
It's funny because some guys made both the overrated and the underrated list. RJ Barrett, Dylan Brooks, Draymond Green, Dame Lillard, Chris Paul, and Austin Reeves.
Okay.
They didn't get a lot of votes, but they got votes.
Some of those names make a lot of sense. Some of them really make no sense at all. Like Damian Lillard, I would have never anticipated
Surprise, huh?
Yeah, that one really surprised me. Chris Paul makes sense, especially for the player he is right now. Austin Reeves makes sense. Gobert makes sense to me, but a couple of those are really, really surprised. Jaren Jackson, like I've never really thought of Jaren Jackson as rated at all. I think he's probably properly rated, if anything.
Jaren Jackson, Dame Lillard, Austin Reeves were also, as I said, they were also on the most underrated list.
Yeah, I would think if anything, Jaren Jackson's underrated, but that feels personal, right? Like that's definitely like this guy is always talk. I don't know. That's really strange to me.
I like Dame. I could see, my guess would be that if you're going to vote for him for most overrated, it would be, you're a great player. You got all this money. All we hear about is, they just can't put good players around you. You got to win at some point.
Sure.
Why don't you win?
Right.
Maybe it's you.
Yeah. That's a little more recency bias too, because Golden State, Portland has been in the playoffs perennially and has made a one Western Conference final at least, but you're completely right. And it's strange to me. Very, very strange to me to make that list. Trae Young does make sense as the number one, though.
Mm-hmm. Draymond Green, I think in the past, I'm not sure, but I think he's actually
won
that more votes.
I think
because, players look at that and go, well, if you put him on another team.
Yeah. And I think it's fair criticism for sure. It's one of those things that, yeah, for sure. And if, my whatever, you can't play that game because he is on the team that he is, and he's on, and he's incredibly valuable to that team. I think the point stands that maybe on a not good team, he has less value, but I still think, I don't know. Yeah. At this point in time, Draymond's probably overrated. I would say so, but
we'll see how valuable he is.
We'll see
them,
how
right?
valuable he is. Exactly. We'll
3.
get a perfect example of it. Game 3. And personally, I think Golden State's going to miss him. I think that there's just a couple things that he does. We're seeing his stat. He averages 8 assists a game for them as a forward, for someone who quote unquote does nothing. That feels like a whole lot of something to me. He's one of the best defenders in this league, at least from an IQ perspective. Sure, he's lost a step, but he knows where to be. And he's also on a team, Golden State, just not a great defensive team in total, and is really one of the few bright spots for them.
The Warriors right now and the dynasty, it's right on the edge. It's right on the edge, and this pushed them closer to the edge.
Yep.
And if the Kings go into chase, they got this chance now to say, thanks for everything, guys.
Appreciate it.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye. See, let me know how it is.
Right now, you'd have to say, wouldn't you have to say, if you're objective, oh, yeah, that is probably going to happen.
I think
which is incredible.
The momentum is definitely shifting that way. That's what I will say. I will not try and jinx this team at all. I will not say that things are lining up perfectly for that. I don't want to put that on them. But it would, from an objective perspective, things are clearly trending in Sacramento's direction right now in a very scary situation for Golden State.
And who's watching the Kings right now? Everybody.
Everyone.
Got the numbers for you in 90 seconds. Chris and company, Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports is Sacramento's new home for the San Francisco 49ers.
It feels awesome. We deserve this. Let's go, Niners!
Purdy
going to throw, and it is Kittle in the back of the end zone.
Samuel.
Debo 10. Debo. Touchdown!
And McCaffrey.
Touchdown! CMC!
They all live here on Sactown Sports.
Your official home for 49ers football.
Get to Acura of Stockton, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. And right now, lease a new Acura TLX, MDX, or Integra with low lease rates available. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
Since the 1950s, Warehouse Paint has been helping local homeowners and professionals bring color to life. Whether it's painting your home's exterior, repainting kitchen cabinets, or finding the perfect accent color, Warehouse Paint's expert team is here to help. You'll find a great selection of PPG and Benjamin Moore paints, along with local service you can trust. With 5 Sacramento area stores, Warehouse Paint is ready to help bring your next paint project to life. Visit warehousepaint.com for a store near you.
Sitting at your desk, watch Chris and Company now. YouTube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Thanks for being with us. Yes, it's Chris and company. Whitey and Watkins. By the way, our coverage here, first round playoff coverage on Sactown Sports, brought to you by National Garage Door. National Garage Door, quality doors, quality people. Joe Dumars just moments ago was on ESPN on one of their NBA shows. And here's what Joe Dumars had to say as far as offering an explanation for why, because he was in charge of meting out this discipline, why the NBA decided to suspend Draymond Green for Game 3.
So, it was debate throughout the office all day yesterday on this. It wasn't a quick or easy or light decision. We understand the ramifications of a decision like this. Here's the thing. As I was saying to Adrian earlier when we were talking, it's like the act itself, okay, the we felt over the top and excessive. The conduct, detrimental. Some of the things that went on after the incident.
You mean engaging with fans? That's what you mean when you say that conduct?
Exactly, conduct detrimental. And then also the repeat offender. We think in totality, you take all three of those things, and that's where you end up landing with a suspension. If you separate them out individually, maybe not. But if you put them all together, that's how you end up with, and that's how we came up with suspension.
Sounds to me like that was a really difficult choice for them.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, the news didn't come out until like 8:30 yesterday. Clearly, they were debating for a long time. I wonder if I would have liked to hear if maybe Adam Silver was involved in the conversation because he was there. I'd be curious to hear how he felt about the situation. I'm sure we'll hear from him eventually on it. But it's interesting to hear that Dumars does also acknowledge that we understand the ramifications of this. We understand that we know that this puts Golden State in a pretty bad situation here. And, it's also, he mentioned it's the totality of it. You asked me maybe if he didn't have the display after the conduct detrimental, as Joe Dumars called it there. If he doesn't have that, is he suspended? I think so, but according to Dumars there, it was the totality of the entire situation that brought Draymond to be suspended. I think that's really, really interesting.
They must have decided, look, if we're going to do this, we have to do it sooner rather than later. I know some people thought we might not get a decision until today. You realize what a handicap this is for the Warriors, and it would have been even more so if they didn't know till like tonight or something.
Right, that's exactly what I was thinking.
All right, at least we're giving you some time to deal with it.
Yeah, you can kind of game plan for it because, if they're learning this today, who knows when they have shoot around. At least now they can maybe go through a practice, go through a shoot around of at least knowing, okay, we're going to be implementing these things. We can try and focus on those things. But it's also, it's on both sides as well. Sacramento is now game planning for what that Warriors team will look like without Draymond Green. The whole situation, I mean, it's effed. It's a completely just backward situation. It's terrible.
Do you think they should have taken into account the magnitude of the moment? That is, do you think that they could have decided, well, you know what, this is bad, but this is a big game, so we shouldn't suspend him? Should that? We don't know that it was. Sounds like it. They considered it, but ultimately ruled that it didn't matter. Should that have been a factor? Because I think a lot of people now are saying, and not just Warrior fans, they're saying, well, come on, a game like that, they're down 2-0 and you're going to suspend them for that? That's not right.
Yeah, I think I would say no, because there's precedent.
I'm with you.
There's precedent for suspending him in Warrior fans all of a sudden care a lot about the first round. All of a sudden, the first round is super important, right? I thought the first round is small potatoes,
right?
2-0,
yeah,
right, exactly. All of a sudden, you're down 0-2. All of a sudden, this is a really important game. How are you going to take him out of a game so important? Well, maybe if you don't get thrown out with 7 minutes to go, maybe whatever, take care of business, split on the road, and you're not in this kind of situation. I think it's I definitely think that the NBA was right to consider it in their decision. I'm glad that it didn't affect the decision clearly. And that was a huge thing for you and I yesterday was the NBA probably wouldn't do it because they didn't want the optics of it.
I know the Warriors certainly didn't think that they were going to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the optics aren't, I think that they were trying to avoid kind of I think Warrior fans are really the only ones that I see, and Stephen A. this morning, everyone on First Take are really the only ones I feel like I've seen that are just completely beside themselves with this decision. I think I said it yesterday, if this happens during the regular season, to me, this is 2-3 game suspension, I think easy. And just because it's the fact that it's the postseason, it would have felt a little wrong for them to not suspend him just because it is the playoffs.
Here's where Draymond Green gets too much credit. There are times, and you go back to the game earlier this year or last month, might have been this month.
The Pelicans game?
Yeah. And he got involved in a fracas and he got teed up and he he lost his composure. And a lot of people give him credit for that. Oh, he fired up the team. And I watched that game and I think we maybe came to different conclusions. I don't think that he meant to fire up the team. I think he lost his composure. Now, maybe the team fed off of that, but I think he gets too much credit sometimes for being a guy who's, that's all calculated. What he did to Sabonis and then the action afterward, that wasn't calculated.
No.
He was in a furious rage.
Yeah. Yeah, he
was out of
He
control.
saw red. Yeah, he saw red. That was not part of the game plan. Again, the game plan was for Draymond to get in the Kings' head, not for Draymond to get himself so riled up that the Kings could have this moment where they clearly got to him and made him do something out of character, but frankly, just make him do what he's done in the past and to get him to that level. And it does seem like, to what you were pointing out before, it does seem like a lot of the times it is Draymond riling himself up. It's not even the emotions of the game or the emotions of a moment getting the best of him. It's just, for whatever reason, he gets himself to this way too high of energy level where he allows himself to just see red and completely black out of situations and do things that are just inexplicable. It just doesn't make any sense why he decides to do the things that he does in the moments he chooses to do them.
Well, that gets back to the Draymond and the DeMarcus Cousins comparison. I know in the past, I always considered that Cousins lost his composure and didn't care about winning as much as Draymond, who for him, I always thought going back, 2015, 16, and then we saw what happened in the finals, but I thought he wants to win and everything is geared towards that. And now it's just, he's very similar to DeMarcus in that what we just saw a couple nights ago, he just totally lost it.
Yeah,
that wasn't calculated. That wasn't designed to fire anybody up. He totally lost his composure.
Yeah, I think sometimes to your point there, and it was with DeMarcus too, where DeMarcus was insistent that all of his stuff was because he was just so motivated to win and just so hungry to win that he felt that passionate. But you also have to understand it's a team game. It's not about you. It's not about yourself. It's about how will my actions right now, how will my emotions affect my teammates as well? Will they respond positively to it? Will they be like, oh my God, we really don't need this right now? And it feels like Draymond doesn't consider his teammates at all. It was a really selfish act for him to do what he did and put his team in that situation.
Yep. There's a persecution element too. There's a similarity.
Totally. Yeah. Where it's like, why is everyone out to get me? Why am I exactly persecuted is the perfect word. Why am I being persecuted for I was just looking for, he was grabbing my leg. Why is no one talking about my angle of this? Why is no one saying, wow, Draymond, actually, thanks for not stepping on his face. Did
you get suspended because you stepped on Sabonis? No, I got suspended because they're out to get me.
Right. Absolutely. And that kind of ties into what we were talking about at the start. And another reason why they said they did suspend him was accountability. They haven't seen a level of accountability for his actions.
One of the reasons I didn't think they would do this is because ratings have been good for this series. And I thought the NBA would want to, hey, let's extend this series. And suspending Draymond doesn't appear likely to extend the series. Opening weekend of the NBA playoffs, 4.15 million viewers across ESPN, ABC, TNT, up 3% from last year, highest since 2011. The Kings win, which peaked, and that we're talking about game one, right? Peaked at 7.56 million from 8 to 8:15 our time. Trails only Nets Celtics on Easter Sunday last year and Blazers Warriors in 2017 as the most watched opening weekend playoff game, regardless of day, in the past 20 years.
Wow. The excitement's there for this series. And you know what? The play has been there too. And that's the best part for me. And that's going to keep people viewing, is just how competitive every single game and how high intensity all these games have been.
Wow. I hate to say it, but what if the Warriors found a way to win? I think a lot of people would be watching game 4, Chris. What do you think of that?
Ooh, yeah. I think a lot of, if this thing were to somehow manage to go to 7, that might be the most watched non-finals game in a really long time.
That Kings win delivered the largest audience of the NBA season, topping the previous mark of 6.08 million for Bucks Celtics on ESPN and ABC Christmas Day.
So the most watched game of the year, Kings versus Warriors, game 1, and it delivered. It had everything that you would want. It had the champions. It had this upstart team. It had intense defense. It had not much shot making, but it did have an exciting finish.
Then game 2 gave you a little extra something for
Little-
your trouble.
yeah, exactly.
In addition to a great game.
This series quite literally has it all. What else could you want?
Head to SactownSports.com right now where you can buy your tickets for KNCI's Jiffy Lube Country in the Park, May 5th and 6th, Cal Expo Grandstands, performances by Chris Young, Lady A, Justin Moore, Brett Eldridge, Joe Nichols, Matty, and Tay. Tickets start at just $45. Weekend passes are just $80, which is like nothing. They're available on the SactownSports.com event page. Coming up, Order Restored. Speaking of the NBA playoffs, Order Restored to the NBA playoffs last night, and Grizz versus Lakers. Who are you supposed to root for next? Chris and company, Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Catch the Oakland A's every weekend on Sactown Sports. Friday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Sinking, that's going to get down for a hit. Around third to score is Tony Kemp. And the A's have taken the lead. Edge of the track makes the catch. And the Athletics get a great win.
Sactown Sports, your weekend home for the Oakland A's.
Sactown Sports coverage of the Oakland A's is brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg at the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Wednesday forecast into the afternoon, mainly sunny skies, expected temperatures a little warmer today with highs in the mid-60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Plumbing, electrical, heating and air, everything that makes your home your home. With Bonnie, you sure got that covered. And right now, get your air conditioner tuned up for just $79. Originally $129. Bonnie.com.
Bonnie!
696-355.
Great team, great team. Where's the defense? Defense! Okay, everyone take a break. Greetings, Sacramento. Doug Christie here for the Good Feet store, asking when is something too good to be true? When it probably is. And had I not experienced it for myself, this spectacular season would definitely qualify as too good to be true. So everyone out there in radio land, continue to enjoy. Something else that could seem too good to be true is Good Feet Arch Supports. But trust me, I've experienced firsthand the comfort, balance, and support possible with Good Feet Arch Supports. And so have countless others who have pretty much given up hope. It's time you felt good again. Take your feet to the Good Feet store for free personalized arch support, fitting, and test walk. Experience for yourself the comfort, balance, and support missing in your life. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now Vacaville, online at goodfeet.com.
Golfers, the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is redefining the word sale. With $500,000 in Cleveland, Strixon, and Zexio closeout inventory, you're sure to find your next nearly new showroom clubs at discounts up to 75%. From full sets of irons to metalwoods to wedges, visit the Hagen Oaks Garage Sale and find discounts up to 75% on selected clubs right now at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
Hey, Scott, I haven't seen you in over a year, and you look great.
Good to see you, too. Yeah, I'm feeling good and have a new job.
No, there's something different about the way you look.
To be honest, a few months ago, I had an amazing robotic hair transplant procedure with Dr. Singh at Excel Medicine. It's called the artist procedure.
No way. Your hair looks completely natural, and you don't even have a scar. How did they do that?
Dude, the artist system is amazing. I have this fantastic hairline, and I'm happy with my results. He could probably help you, too, buddy.
Using the artist procedure, Dr. Singh can target and harvest healthy hair follicles with micron-level accuracy from the back of your head and transplant them where you need it. The procedure is painless, and you'll be back doing your regular activities in a couple of days. Ask Dr. Singh at Excel Medicine about the artist procedure. Call today, 916-932-4470. That's 932-4470 for a complimentary in-person or Zoom consultation, or on the web at excelmedicine.com. That's EXCEL medicine.com. See what the artist procedure can do for you.
These are actors and not real patients. When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is, live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
Jiffy Lube's Country in the Park, Northern California's biggest country music festival of the year, is back May 5th and 6th at Cal Expo, starring Lady A, Chris Young, Brett Eldridge, and so many more. Plus, a Boots Boot and Line Dance Saloon, interactive lounges, and Sacramento's best food trucks. Weekend passes start at just $80. Tickets are on sale now at SactownSports.com. Country in the Park, brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort, Hanley's Western Wear, and Quick Pack Car Wash.
The clock is ticking. Get off the bench and head down to Fastener's Tool Outlet, where you'll find the lowest prices on Milwaukee power tools and much more. Why pay more at a big box store? Get a triple-double at Fastener's Tool Outlet with weekly and monthly specials, including up to 50% off select hand tools, batteries, power tools, and fasteners. Whether you're looking for a new pack-out box, woodworking equipment, or a Milwaukee impact driver, Fastener's Tool Outlet has the tools you need to do the job. Make a slam dunk with Fasteners Tool Outlet, 6701 Power Inn Road, or on the web at fastenersinc.net.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
I'm Chris Verlott with your Sactown Sports Headlines. The NBA announced yesterday that Warriors forward Draymond Green has been suspended for Game 3 against the Sacramento Kings for stepping on Domantas Sabonis. The league said the suspension was based in part on Green's history of unsportsmanlike acts. Last night, the Sacramento Kings announced that center Domantas Sabonis suffered a sternum contusion in Monday's game and will be questionable for the game against the Warriors tomorrow. Game 3 of the Kings and Warriors is tomorrow night, and Sactown Sports will have you covered. It will start with Cattles and Rami live from Doco at 2, followed by Game Night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner at 5:30, and tip-off for the game at 7. You can listen to it all right here on Sactown Sports. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to Chris and company with Whitey and Watkins.
Possible workaround here to no cowbells at Chase Center on the YouTube chat. What do you think of this, Chris Watkins? I think you may have issued some guidelines for something like this. David Eisenbud, first of all, he says, been a Kings fan since 85. Hey. Let anyone on the bandwagon.
Sure.
Which is a great way to look at it. But he says, workaround for no cowbells. In the last 2 minutes of the Game 3, Kings win, chant, light the beam, continuously. Light the beam. What do you think, Chris? You all right? What's the matter?
I would just not do that. I would say refer to a certain set of guidelines during the postseason. I would not suggest chanting "light the beam" until that final whistle is about to be blown. That would be my advice for anyone thinking it would be a good idea.
That's where I disagree with Chris.
Yeah, see, Chris Verlott is a maniac, and he thinks that we should say "light the beam" at the start of the third quarter.
If you believe that the Kings are going to win, I'm all about vibes. If the Kings are taking it to somebody, 30 points in the third quarter. Like the beam.
I'm with Chris Watkins in your old school vibe. I know where you're going. I know where you're both going, but I know what you're saying. It's like the last thing you want to do is say that early and then have someone be able to go, what was that you said?
Is that from your own experience?
I don't know. It's just kind of the way I was brought up, I guess. I don't know.
Really think of like a very specific instance in which somebody showboated and was like, it's over, and then, was directly thrown back in their face. But you're just asking. To me, it's more of just you're asking for it. Like if you start to chant, this game is over, ha, 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 we're doing our victory celebration, and the game is still going on, and then you lose, you just look so dumb, and you could have just waited. My thing is like I'm not saying don't chant "light the beam." I'm just saying there's an appropriate time when it's safe and you can do it all day long. It's just you have to be a little bit of patience. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, the worst losses for fans, probably players too, I don't know, and coaches, but when you lose by a lot, it's like, that sucks. The worst losses are when you think you've won.
Yes, exactly.
And you feel like we have this.
Right.
And then you don't win. That's the worst.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
And then again, now we live in the social media era where Warrior fans are already down Kings fans. Like they're coming for our heads. And if you want to give them that fuel to use, no thanks. I'm not trying to give them that clip of, 4 minutes to go, Sacramento Kings fans, light the beam, and then 4 minutes later, complete silence, and Steph Curry hits a game winner, and then what you really don't ruin this for everybody else. You don't want other fans to now be using light the beam as a
right,
we beat you guys kind of thing,
which happened that Friday night of the regular season here.
Yes, yeah, it did, and that was not fun.
Last Friday night,
we don't forget that. But
light the beam.
Just wait. If Game 4 happens and Kings are in a situation to clinch the series in Golden State's house, oh my goodness! If the Kings go up 3-0, Whitey, on Sunday is going to be 50-50 Kings fans. I think that they pack that place, and I'm expecting them to be acting like Steph Curry does out on the court in the stands.
If the Kings win Game 3, and then you can't assume that no matter what the deal is with Draymond, let me ask Verlon first. If the Kings win Game 3, Game 4, when is it appropriate to start chanting like the beam?
You got to have a healthy lead.
We got to have a lead.
I said it's about vibes.
Hold on. Okay. All of a sudden, I agree with Chris. Oh, you really, it's got to be locked up.
I assume your rules don't change whether it's you're going for a sweep.
I mean, look, once like Draymond, man, once emotions get going, I'm liable for anything. Okay,
very fluid.
It's a very fluid thing. Okay, like if we're talking a sweep, then in your house after how you guys have been treating us, no, I'm sorry. The second it looks bad for you guys, down 3-0, usually teams will, especially if it's a blowout, they'll wave that white flag early. It's a wrap. As long as if we can get it for the entire fourth quarter, I'm down for that.
I have a feeling that's something that could definitely happen.
I do too.
If they lose Game 3 and then the Kings come out, and then it's just like, oh man, let's
just call it.
Warrior fans have their own chant that they might at some point, if the game's still up in the air, and Kings fans start chanting like the beam. Warriors fans have their own. You know what it's like? Warrior. It's a little different.
I'm very aware
because it's not something they only do at the end of a game. It's more like, when it used to be in the third quarter, when the third quarter Warriors were a thing, that's when they started Warriors.
Yeah.
But it's a little
I'm
different.
incredibly familiar with the Warriors chant. It has reigned through Golden One Center many a time before. I'm very aware. And it's time to give people a taste of their own medicine. For too long have people been coming in the King's house and just doing whatever they please. It's time for the Kings fans to have a little bit fun in opposing arenas, of course, all in good fun. And please stay safe. I saw a couple scuffles happening out in the Golden One Center crowd.
Gonna get worse.
And definitely,
not.
especially with this Draymond animosity, it does feel like we're reaching some form of a boiling point. But let's remember, people, be safe. It's just a game, and it's just for fun.
Last night, NBA playoffs order restored in the sense that the Suns even their series with the Clippers, 123-109. Did you see that Chris Paul won a game that Scott Foster was officiating for the first time in like 14 games?
Yeah.
He broke that streak.
I would say that that's just like a weird coincidence thing, but
it's gotta be
13 straight times. That's a little bit more than a coincidence. That's definitely something that, I know people, they said they looked into it. That's pretty insane. That's pretty insane, especially for Chris Paul, somebody who talks with officials as much as he does. I don't know. That's interesting. I don't know what it means. It's
called suspicious.
It is suspicious. I'm not saying Scott Foster.
Random chance is what it's called. It happens. Cleveland over the Knicks 107-90. So that's even now, in the Celtics take a 2-0 lead over the Hawks. Tonight, we've got LeBron against the Grizzlies. I thought you liked LeBron.
Yeah.
Who do you root for? Who do I root for? If you're a Kings fan, who do you root for in this thing?
You just hope both teams lose, honestly. If that's somehow possible, like we were saying, if we were to step on Steph, they would just end the entire. Maybe like it just needs to be some earth-shattering event or something. But no, I mean, in a situation for Kings fans, I guess, as gross as it is to say, you root for the Lakers because, again, like, if we can beat Golden State, I'm all for taking down the other guys who have been a thorn in our backs for the past X amount of years. I'm down to take on the Lakers in a series. Plus, that, Memphis is the 2 seed. They are the team that you should be more fearful of. I know Ja's questionable tonight.
Yeah.
Right, Ja's questionable
Path
tonight.
of least resistance. I don't think there's any shame if you're a Kings fan and saying, I want the Grizz because they got issues in the Lakers. That's a pretty good team that seems to be coming together. I think if you're a Kings fan, you got to root for the Grizz. By the way, the Grizzlies as a team,
I can't disagree.
I think as a team, they got votes for most overrated. Somebody just said the kids in Memphis.
Yeah, that makes sense because they're not well liked. And if Kings fans aren't pleased with Draymond's antics, better get ready for Dylan Brooks because he's just a Draymond Green with a little bit more youthful energy.
What's with his forehead?
I have a lot of questions about Dylan Brooks. I don't like his hair either. I'm not. Dylan Brooks is not my guy.
Is he the captain of you like him if he's on your team, hate him if he's on the other team?
Yes, absolutely. Except he's also falling into maybe the Gobert team of, I'm not sure, the Grizz. I think Memphis likes him. I think that they enjoy his antics, but
nobody likes you team.
Yeah, exactly. That team is coming together really well all of a sudden. But
you're rooting for LeBron tonight, aren't you?
I think
You're a
I am.
LeBron guy,
I really
you?
think I am. Also, I out of respect for Memphis, I am a lot more afraid of Memphis playing Sacramento than the Lakers. I think the Lakers present obviously the front facing problem of dealing with Anthony Davis and LeBron, but especially how the Kings' depth has performed. I really like the Kings just as a whole collective team over Memphis.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though, Kings against Lakers would be great because I told Dave that I would not make any promises about a funeral if the Kings play the Lakers. And just talking about it would drive him crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Dave. It would drive him nuts.
Well, if we go,
what we're thinking of doing? He'd go crazy.
If the Kings go up 3, if they win tomorrow, I might start funeral talk. We might have to have multiple funerals in one off season here.
Gonna be busy. Crosstalk with Rami's coming up, and finally, we didn't get to it earlier. Christopher Lott's finally story time is next. Chris and company, Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings have taken a commanding 2-0 lead over the Golden State Warriors.
They end up winning it by 8.
Can the best road team in the West go into Chase Center Thursday night and get a win in Game 3 over the defending champs? Our coverage begins with Cattles and Rami live from the Golden One Center at 2 p.m. with tip-off at 7 from San Francisco. On your home for the Kings, Sactown Sports.
Carmichael Dave here, welcoming back my dear friends at Fire Wings. 21 different flavors. I had 4 of those 21 Saturday for the game, watching with the family. As always, breaded Malaysian curry. Yeah, you better bet I got that curry. Knocked it out of the park, too. Go to firewings.com to make your order. That's what we did. We ordered 2 hours in advance, picked it up. There's nothing better for the game than Fire Wings. Check out the locations nearest you. Fire Wings, just wing it.
At Elk Grove Honda, we'd like to help you purchase your next new Honda. Right now at Elk Grove Honda, new Hondas are arriving on a regular basis, including the newly designed CR-V, new design Accords, exciting Civics, and much more. And Elk Grove Honda's pre-owned inventory offers choices there as well. So give Elk Grove Honda a chance to show you the new or pre-owned Honda you're looking for. We are Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard, or visit us at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khtk.com. Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Hey, Sacramento, while you're watching the playoffs, don't get stuck on the bench in a warm house. Fox Family Heating and Air can get you cooling fast with most parts backed by a lifetime warranty.
Fox Family Heating and Air.
ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets a light an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
There's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. And at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, we are proud to provide our best selection to get you there. Buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own loan report.
Golfers, the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is redefining the word sale. With $500,000 in Cleveland, Strixon, and Zexio closeout inventory, you're sure to find your next nearly new showroom clubs at discounts up to 75%. From full sets of irons to metalwoods to wedges, visit the Hagen Oaks Garage Sale and find discounts up to 75% on selected clubs right now at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 916-277-8599 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Keeping you company with the company. It's Chris and Company with Chris Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Getting ready for Cattles and Rami, and I don't know, Chris, I don't know what kind of show to expect from, well, I know what to expect from Cattles, but Rami, he's a big Cubs fan, and the Cubs playing the A's right now. I'm not sure he's going to be giving the program his full attention.
Maybe not totally focused. I've been watching too much A's baseball. It's a common problem.
Yeah.
Tommy, there's like 130 games left.
Every time the A's play, guys, I'm just
Locked
glued.
in.
I'm just
Right.
locked in. I'm
Sure.
glued to the screen.
That green gold.
Today is no exception. Today is just another A's game in me. I'm gonna have to try and focus on the Cattles and Rami show.
The
You know
work
what I mean?
part of things.
Yes, sir.
I will never watch the A's the same way again. Every time I see him now, I'm reminded of what Carmichael Dave said yesterday, and I think this was off the air, and he says they're at spring training, and Mark Kotze meets him. I'm Carmichael Dave. Carmaker Dave? That's a great nickname. I love it. Carmaker Dave.
What must have been going through Mark? Like, wow, to get that name, like you really have to be like
really great car maker.
Constructing cars, putting them together. What a title! I don't think I've ever heard someone.
Shop.
Someone to be your car maker, Dave.
Yeah.
That's wow.
You like restore 67 Mustangs?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I maybe wouldn't correct him.
Yeah, no, I don't think he did. I think Dave said he didn't correct.
I might just go with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I might just go with yes. I'm a
it'd be easier than just explaining like
I'm a craftsman with these two hands.
Yeah.
I build cars. I am car maker Dave.
Yeah, especially if you thought it was cool, right? Because you don't want to tell them the name and go, I thought it was something else.
Yeah, it's like, no, actually, it's like Carmichael. It's like a.
People
like
mispronounce my name all the time. And quite frank, half the time, I don't even correct them. I just go, yep. It's not even worth it.
They said R. That's good enough for me.
They're like, Ramey?
What's the worst you've gotten? Yeah, I've heard Ramey.
Somebody called from the receptionist desk in my apartment building the other day and called me Rammy. I've never got that. I've never gotten that one.
I've heard people call you Rammy.
Rammy?
Yeah, like Dodge Rammy.
I got Rammy a lot my whole life growing up. I never got Rammy, but that was that was a first. I mean, I mean, if I'm gonna have like a 2-second interaction with you, I'm not gonna waste my time.
Actually,
I'm like, yep, that's me. Or if somebody's giving me my coffee or something, you know what I mean?
Do you feel bad when you correct people? Like, because I feel like some people are like, oh my, like I'm so sorry. I did not mean to mess up your name.
I feel like you have to do it in a certain way because otherwise it seems like you're offended.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm not offended.
Yeah.
You're
just correcting. You're just letting you know.
I'm just letting you know. Yeah. But some people do, like, if you don't do it right, they're like they feel bad or they get defended. You know what I mean? It's like I don't need all that.
I heard someone the other day too having this same exact conundrum. They're having a conversation where they're like, what's your name? What's your name? And then they like keep trying to like get the pronunciation right. And at some point it's like, just whatever. And then they'll say, all right, for sure. Bye, Ramey. And it's like, you got it wrong anyway.
You know the great Vince Scully.
Yes.
I used to work with FP, and FP was on the station. And FP Santangelo, he ended up playing for the Dodgers. And Vince Scully would call him Santangelo, FP Santangelo. And FP finally went to him and was like, Vin,
especially Vince Scully. That takes some.
Just so you know, it's great to be a Dodger, but my name's Santangelo. They don't call me. You're saying it wrong. He goes, well, the way I've always heard is Santangelo, so that's how I'm going to say it.
There's also that, where you're just like, I'm just going to call you Rammy.
I'm Vince Scully, and I'll say it however I damn well please.
And you're going to like
it. Yeah. All right, story time with Christopher Love.
We interrupt this program for an important announcement.
It's that time of the day where Christopher Laud gives you the stories that you need to hear. Or maybe not.
Maybe not.
It's story time.
Gentlemen, how about we start someplace close?
How close?
Let's start with Placer County. This is courtesy of
Is that all right with you?
Yeah.
Rammy?
Sure.
You okay with that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So on Sunday, a car became airborne and crashed into the second story of a home.
Became airborne.
Firefighters responded to the scene and was able to get. They were able to stabilize the location and get to the driver. Luckily, no one was inside the home. No one was hurt.
Whew.
The driver had minor injuries, so good on them too. But here's the strange part of the story: the officials don't quite know how the car got up there.
That's I was just gonna ask. I was waiting for the payoff to tell me how this dude went airborne and landed in the second story of a house.
They said they figured speed played a factor, obviously.
Yeah.
But nothing around the area can quite show how the car was able to get itself airborne and into
there
the
wasn't
house.
like another car that was damaged that looked like maybe like it ramped up off of nothing.
Nothing. So officials are investigating.
Were there aliens
The
involved?
car came through the front door and reversed its way.
Took the stairs.
Found the stairs.
Yeah.
Can I say that that's kind of like a new fear unlocked for me, is just hanging out in my house and like you think you're fine, and then all of a sudden, like literally you have no sense of a car just about to come through your living room. How crazy must that have looked just driving by? You're just driving, going down your street, and then you look over to your left, and there's just a car lodged into the second story of the house.
I need to know. Chris, I want to follow up.
All right, I'll work on that follow-up.
In a future story time.
Sources.
All right, next,
Wow.
let's go
I'm
to
not even mad. I'm impressed.
Cushing, Maine. This is courtesy of News Center, Maine. Last Monday, Maine lobsterman Captain Cameron Pease was fishing 20 miles offshore when he made the catch of a lifetime. But it wasn't a world record lobster. Instead, it was a 5-foot-long military rocket.
Oh,
what?
Captain Pease brought the rocket on shore on Monday and contacted authorities the following day.
Things to do.
Officers
want to take pictures with it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He's got pictures of it.
Yeah.
Officers identified the rocket as an MK-29 Mod 0.
Oh, of course.
for sure.
Yeah, that's what I was
Makes
thinking.
sense
it
why
would
you found
be.
it.
Yeah.
And they were unable to determine if it contained explosive material through X-ray imaging.
Only one way to find out.
The rocket was countercharged under supervision from the Navy EOD Mobile Unit 12. Police say the rocket was properly disposed of when rendered safe.
I love that this dude had it overnight, and we don't know if it was potentially
Yes.
explosive or not. You know what I mean?
Also, clearly,
this dude is probably cheesing with it, taking selfies.
Hey, Bill, you have to come over here.
You got to see what I found, man.
They catch a lot of lobster with that rocket, though.
That they could potentially blow up the whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's a very single man also, because you would have a lot of questions if you just bring a missile into the house.
All right, final story for the day. This comes from Earls Cove, British Columbia,
Beautiful
courtesy
part
of
the country.
CBC News.
Uh-huh.
We've heard of Cocaine Bear,
Yep.
but what about Coke Bear? Early Thursday morning, Sharon Rosal was woken up by her dog around 3 a.m. When she looked out her window, she could see a bear shattered out one of her car windows and was helping itself to the sodas that she had purchased for her business. She said that the bear had drank 69 of the 72 sodas, and its favorite was obviously Orange Crush. She also said that it seemed to stop once it had a couple of the diet sodas and then took off.
That just tells you everything you need to know about diet soda.
Even a bear wouldn't drink it.
A bear would drink or eat anything.
Literally
anything. Anything. And it doesn't want your diet soda. That tells you all you need to know about diet soda right there.
It was almost 70 sodas in and then got to the diet and was like, this is trash. Why am I doing this?
That bear's not going to hibernate for like 3 years. I don't know. I'm just kind of wired. I can't really fall asleep.
Roselle said she is always careful not to leave food or trash in her car, but never thought a bear would be attracted or smell the pop through the can.
Pop or soda?
Soda.
She said pop.
Soda.
You say soda?
Yeah.
Why do you pop or
I usually
soda?
go soda, but I love it when people say pop.
I do too. It
I grew
sounds
up
a lot
saying
cooler.
pop.
It sounds
I
a
grew up
lot
saying
cooler.
pop,
I would much rather drink pop than soda. To me, pop is like it has to come in like a spritzer and like it's got to be just soda water. Like I don't think you can have pop and have it. If I were to say I want some pop and then someone were to give me some Dr. Pepper, I would be like, oh, this is not.
Yeah, growing up, it was always pop for me.
Just there's like a universal.
Everything. Yeah, that was like just a generic term.
Is that
for
where like beer is like barley pop?
soft
You want a
drink.
barley pop?
No, it was beer.
Okay.
Still call it beer. No.
What do you guys have coming up besides you updating us on the Cubs and the?
I don't know.
It's 2-2 now.
I think maybe we'll talk about Draymond Green.
Who?
Yeah, like basically the whole show is gonna be about Draymond Green getting suspended for stepping on Domantas Sabonis. So lots and lots of talk about that. And
Is this series over now? Is this series over?
I'm sure that question, that bridge will be crossed at some point. I'm Cattles and Rami. Whitey.
All right. Looking
Weekdays,
forward to
2 to
that.
6.
Yeah, thank you. Cattles and
problem.
Rami are next. I'll see you tomorrow, Chris.
Yes, I will see you tomorrow.
Yeah, Cattles and Rami next right here. Sactown Sports.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
I had the most old man moment of my life last night. So